Yes, case number 263 on the calendar in the matter of Burnley versus Belluccio. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Burnley, according to what I've read, the defendant was your former fiancée. She lived with you for a period of time. You claim that she owes you for two things. First, for rent for several months that she lived there and she didn't pay you rent. And second, for a credit card loan that you paid off for her and that she agreed to repay. The defendant says that while she was there was not an agreement for rent, that in quite the opposite, she was really treated more like a maid than anything else. She cooked and cleaned and took care of you and your children and the house. And in addition, while she does acknowledge that there was a loan for her credit card debt that she had, she says that she agreed to leave certain items at the house when she left that more than cover the balance of the loan, some of which she had already paid to you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Burnley, when did you start to date Miss Belluccio?
February of 1998.
And in February of, because I've read these papers very carefully, in February of 1998, sir, you were married.
Yes.
And how old were you?
36.
And how old was Miss Belluccio?
19.
Is that right?
I was 18.
And where did you meet her?
At work.
What kind of work did you do?
It's a convenience store.
What were you doing at the convenience store?
I was her boss.
So you were her boss. She was 18 years old. She was going to school?
Yes.
College?
Yes.
And she was working besides, going to school full time?
Yes, ma'am.
How long had you been separated from your wife?
10 years almost.
Are you divorced now?
No, not yet.
Why not?
Long story. She was supposed to pay for the divorce.
I have time, sir.
Okay.
And it's a long story, but I guarantee it's not such a long story.
It was a matter of principle that she would, when we had split up, she had taken all the furniture and stuff like that, and she was supposed to pay for a divorce, and that she never did.
Stubborn sucker, aren't you?
Yes.
You have children?
Yes.
How old are they?
11 and 12.
Now, when did Miss Belluccio move in with you?
July of 1999.
And did you become engaged at that time?
No.
When did you become engaged?
I do not remember approximately. She asked me to marry her first, and at that time I said that I believe she should be at least 25 before she gets married, so she knows what she's getting into.
And did you ever change your story?
I asked her to marry me a couple of years later.
Did you give her a ring?
Yes.
And you're still not divorced?
Correct.
How did you plan to carry that out, sir?
I procrastinate, but I believed that I would have it done before we would get married.
That's usually the way things go.
Right.
I want you to tell me about this rent that you claim she owes you.
In July of '99, I purchased a home. I did not believe it was a good idea for her to move in at that time, but it happened that way. The agreement was, though, that at that time the living expenses cost $800.
What were the living expenses?
Well, the mortgage was $550, electric, phone, stuff like that. They came to approximately $800. She did agree to pay $400.
Why would she pay off your mortgage? Was the house in her name?
I wouldn't call it paying my mortgage. It was half the living expenses.
She was living with you, and I assume sharing your bed. Right?
Correct.
Who took care of the chores around the house?
She did.
Didn't you think you were a little old for her, Mr. Burnley?
Yes.
Didn't you think that a guy who's 36 years old and married should have nothing to do with an 18-year-old girl who's working, going to school, trying to do the right thing? She want to get hooked up with you for? You can't even get yourself off the horse after 10 years. Huh?
She told me age didn't matter to her.
She told you
She
age
told me
didn't
that.
matter. She's
Yeah.
18 years old. You're a grown man. Age matters. There are a lot of things that matter that people say don't matter. They matter. It is your statement that you did not have an agreement with him for rent. Is that right?
There was no formal agreement. There were times when we did say, give what you can. There were times when Stephen had 2 roommates where he didn't expect a penny from me. And then there were times we actually did, in September of 2003, have a formal rent agreement.
Okay. What was your agreement?
That I would pay him $300 and that I would pay for groceries.
Okay, and when did you move out?
November of 2003, at the end.
Okay, so for 3 months.
Correct. I always contributed to the household, whether it be projects or whether it be I paid for all the groceries. There may have been 1 month in the 4 years that we lived together that Stephen bought groceries. But I did all the household chores, and I assisted him with several projects. I have pictures of his whole house has been changed. I paid for a lot of those things.
Like what?
Painting. I helped him paint. We did the whole back patio, and I paid for several flowers to go in the ground. At least $250 a summer I paid for flowers, and several of those flowers have come back.
So you treated the house as if it was going to be your home.
That is what Stephen told me at all times. That he offered one of the roommates money, $7 per hour, to help him work on a project. And I questioned, why aren't you offering me money to help you work on these projects? And he said to me that half of this will be yours someday.
I'm listening.
That part's not true about putting in flowers. I always had told her, don't put flowers in, you can't afford it, you're going to school. She'd also bought clothes for my children, which I told her not to do.
So she was a nice person
Yes.
when you were
Yes,
together.
she did a lot.
Tried to hold up her end of the financial bargain while you were
Right,
together,
right.
and then some.
That's correct, which I'd told her all along.
So why are you here suing her for rent?
Principal.
Someone who proposes marriage to a girl half his age while he's still married shouldn't talk about principle.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You lived together for how many years?
4.
Get over it.
And later today,
Your mother never said to you, don't worry, it's a gift. Right?
Right, but she did say,
Okay.
don't worry.
Oh, did you ever hear the expression, beauty fades, dumb is forever?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Stephen Burley says ex-fiancée Courtney Belluccio owes for a loan to pay off a credit card. Courtney says Stephen is still legally married.
Now let's get to the credit card.
April 10th, 2003. I was not aware at that moment. She came to me and told me that she had a credit card that she had, I don't know if it was maxed out, but it was very high interest. It was killing her paying the payments. So I decided to take a bank offer loan that I'd had and pay off that credit card, and it was at 2%.
How much did you give her to pay off the credit?
$5,176.
And how much did she pay back? How much did you pay back?
I paid back $3,890.
And you claim that you don't owe anything on this because why?
When I moved out in November of the end of November 2003, I told Stephen when I was leaving that I'm going to leave some things behind. If I'm going to write my estimated value next to it, I'd like you to write what you feel is a fair value next to it, and we'll agree upon a value, and we'll take that off the balance. And he agreed.
Can I please see the
Sure.
list that you prepared of the things that you left behind? Well, let me tell you this. Some of this is nonsense. A bicycle. Now that's $100. Kitchen table and 4 chairs.
Sits in the basement. Told her she could take it. Would she need it?
2
She said
dining
no.
room chairs.
In my basement.
You have any use for these things?
No.
You can go get these things because he doesn't want them, but you don't get credit for them. Okay, you agree to pay it back. The money you owe him $1,500. That's all. Your lawsuit, sir, is seeking over $3,000. I think you're a little out of line. I think you're out of line with the rent. I don't think that you had an agreement other than the defendant has already acknowledged that is an agreement for 3 months. I believe her when she says she paid you the rent for the 3 months, September, October, November. Mm-hmm. That's it. You lived together for how many years?
4.
4 years? Get over this list. Get over it, unless you want any of this stuff. If you want any of this stuff, it's in his basement. I'll make an order that you can go pick it up. Do you want it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. She's going to come and pick up all this junk within 5 days of the date of this hearing, and she owes you $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think his real motivation is that he's simply angry with me.
I procrastinate a lot, so she probably figured I wouldn't try to collect it.
We had just completely grown apart. We wanted different things on a daily basis from life.
I was just in no hurry to get married again, I guess.
It was all on principle. He was planning on getting a divorce, and ironically, after I left, he initiated one.
And now the next case.
All parties in a matter of power versus power. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Mary Power is suing her daughter, administrative assistant Catherine Power for the cost of a cruise from New York to Canada.
Ms. Power, this is your daughter.
Yes, it is.
And I gather from reading your petition that at this point in your lives you're not happy with each other.
No, we're not.
So this is what the case is about. Your family was planning to go away on a cruise together, so I assume you all got along. You have children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
And they were going on the cruise also?
Yes.
How many of your brothers and sisters were going?
2. 2 sisters.
And Mrs. Power, what you tell me in your petition is that your daughter paid for the cruise, and then the cruise company went bankrupt.
Correct.
And everybody was really disappointed. And according to what you tell me, I read, you made arrangements for a second cruise.
Correct.
And since the refund hadn't come back yet, you paid for the second cruise.
Correct.
And your daughter didn't pay you back when she got the refund.
Correct.
She says that the second cruise was a gift.
Absolutely not.
That's your defense. Is that right?
Yeah.
When were you planning to go on this cruise, Miss Power?
The first cruise on Regal Cruises, we were going June 29th of 2003.
And where were you going?
We were going from New York to Canada.
Kathy, how much did you pay for that cruise for you and your 2 children? Was it 3 people going?
I paid $906, but that wasn't a full total.
When did you pay that money?
Throughout January to May of 2003.
Great. When were you advised, Miss Power, that the cruise was canceled?
I was advised in May of 2003.
And did you rebook another cruise?
Yes, I did.
For the same period of time?
For the same period of time, just one day earlier, we were going to leave than previously planned.
And was that a more expensive cruise?
A few $100s more.
So what happened? You went on the cruise in June?
We went on the cruise. We had a great time. I got a refund back in February of 2004.
Did you call your daughter and ask her if she had gotten a refund back?
Yes, I was very excited I got my refund, but she didn't seem to be as excited. And she just called me up a few days later, and she said to me, now she didn't say she got her check back. She said that when she gets her check back, she'd like to use it to go to Florida on another vacation. And I said, absolutely no. I want my money back.
And she said?
And she said that no, she wasn't giving it back to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Mary Power says her daughter, Catherine Power, owes for a cruise from New York to Canada. Catherine says she's a struggling single mom, and the cruise was a gift.
Give me your version of the events that led to your belief that this was a gift to you.
The first cruise that we had purchased, actually my mom called me and said, would you like to go on a cruise? And I'll help pay for it. And then she ended up paying for my sister Karen's part, but didn't help me. So I was still paying for it because I wanted to go. So I just went on about my time and got a phone call when I was at work, and she said, I purchased a new cruise. So I was like, well, Mom, I don't have money. And nothing came up about the refund check. I don't have the money to pay for it. She goes, don't worry, it's a gift. So that's how I took it as.
Kathy,
What?
your mother never said to you, don't worry, it's a gift.
She said, don't worry.
I know that she didn't say, don't worry, it's a gift, and you know she didn't say, don't worry, it's a gift. Right?
Right, but she did say,
Okay.
don't worry. She didn't say it was a gift, but she said not to worry.
Right. She didn't say it was a gift. How did I know that?
Because people don't say that. They just...
Because if it doesn't
Right.
sound right, it's not true.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened, Miss Power, when you got back your refund from the cruise line in February.
She said she paid for the cruise and that I was supposed to pay her back. And that was not my point of it. It was...
Well, was your point of it? Was your point of it that...
She bought a trip for the family. It was the last family trip. She felt that everyone should go on it because my father was sick and she wanted us all together. That's what it was.
Then, Kathy, would you explain to me, if that's your rationalization for keeping the money, why is it that you testified earlier that from February until May, you were paying the travel agent, and you paid the travel agent $906 if your mother had already said to you, I want to take the family away on a trip? And what I think happened that really annoyed you is that your mother, according to you, chose to pay for one of your sisters to go and didn't choose to pay for you. Because you've already mentioned that once, and that, I would say, might fry you a little bit. But let me understand why your mother decided to pay for one sister and not you. You want to explain that to me?
Yes. When my daughter, Kathy, had my grandson, she had to take some leave off from work. She was on maternity leave. And during that time, my husband, Bill, and I helped her with her rent and her car payments to keep her going. And I did ask her at that time to pay me back, but she did not.
Okay, just a second. So, did your parents help you?
They came up to the house when I had Liam and watched Emerald, my daughter, and then she helped me with diapers and stuff.
So you decided to pay for Karen
Right.
to make it even with your children.
Right.
Okay. How much was the total cost of your trip, madam? $1,206?
It was $1,806 altogether, and then minus $500 for my sister.
1306.
Okay, $1,306. $1,306 is what you intended to pay. Is that right?
Correct.
Mrs. Power, even if you decided to go on a little bit more expensive cruise, I assume you would be perfectly happy if you got $1,306 back from your daughter. If she said to you, listen, I don't have the extra money, but here's the $1,306 that I was intending to pay for the first one. I'm going to give that back to you.
I would have been happy.
And that would have been right, Kathy.
No.
That would have been right, Kathy.
Nope.
Listen to me. You have to stop relying on other people to take care of the problems that you create. You create certain problems. You created a lifestyle for yourself. And it seems to me from listening to your mother, who's a pretty rational lady, that you have relied on other people to take care of the problems that you create. And when you listen to me, and when you turn 30, you just told me that. You just told me a moment ago that your parents came to watch your daughter when your son was born.
Correct.
And gave you a little bit of money, a little bit of help. Well, that means relying on other people for problems that you create.
They didn't have to come.
Oh, listen to me. Listen to me. Did you ever hear the expression, beauty fades, dumb is forever? Huh? All right. That's all I'm going to say. You owe your mother $1,306. That is the cost of the trip that you had originally said that you were going to take care of. You got a refund for most of it. You should have turned that refund over to your mother by signing over the check to her and saying, thanks for covering the balance. She would have been ecstatic that you did the right thing. You chose to do the wrong thing. And you can't, at your age, do the wrong thing. First of all, it sets a bad example for your children, and that's primarily why you can't do the wrong thing. Because you're supposed to set a perfect example for your children, and then you're not supposed to make your mother come and sue you. Don't say anything. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,306. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 395 on the calendar in the matter of Rao versus Cruz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Ms. Rao, you and the defendant are next-door neighbors.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have adjoining backyards.
Yes.
Adjoining yards. And it is your claim that Mr. Cruz threw some junk into your backyard and in doing so damaged some of your property. You want him to pay for that property. Mr. Cruz seems to indicate that while he did place some things in your yard,
Yes, ma'am.
he was merely returning the stuff that you had put in his yard.
Correct, Your Honor.
So it sounds to me like you people need something else to do. When did the trouble start, Miss Rao, with Mr. Cruz?
When I saw that the land was eroding, I put rocks there to hold up the land, and Mr. Cruz came out and abruptly said, "What are you doing?" And I told him, I said, "We got a problem here. The land is going down the hill."
I don't understand. Do you have a photograph to show me
Yes,
what you
I do.
mean? I'd like to see it.
That's the photographs of the damage and the
Well, I don't
the
want
land.
to see the damage. I'll take
Yeah.
them all. Let me see if I can find what you're talking about. Okay. I'm looking at this picture. Is this the area where you were placing rocks?
Yes.
Okay. On whose property is this?
Mr. Cruz.
So you were placing rocks on Mr. Cruz's property?
There's some of it is my property. I was placing it real close to the fence.
Well, you can't place rocks on his property. Miss Rao?
I was placing it on my property.
No, you also said you were placing it on his property. You cannot place rocks on his property. You cannot put anything on his property.
Right. I got his permission. When he came out and abruptly said, "What are you doing?" I told him, and he said, "Fine."
Just a second.
Okay.
Before you do it.
That's not true. Your
Okay.
Honor.
If that was true, that was very nice of him. But before you step on somebody else's property to make any alterations, you call them and you ask for permission. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, I'll start with you, Mr. Cruz. Why don't you tell me what happened?
November 2nd, we got up and I looked out my kitchen window and I actually could see up the slope to her house. And I saw some garbage, branches, tennis shoe. I see PVC pipe. I see a bucket, those black ones when the plants come in. I told my wife I'll be right back. I went to her house, knocked on her door to see if she was there. I've cleaned it 3 times
Now,
already.
that's on your property?
Yes, ma'am. It's on my property.
Is this a back part of your property?
Yes, it's a back with a big slope, like maybe 70 feet long.
And on the other side of the property is?
Her fence in the pool.
Okay. So, just a second. So you went over to her house on the 2nd?
Correct.
And nobody answered?
Nobody answered the door, so I went home. I went up the slope. I picked up the black bucket, a couple of root plants, and a couple rocks, and I tossed it over the fence. And that dirt right there that you see was covered all with ice plant. There was no exposure of the PVC pipe. I have a picture, ma'am.
Let me see it, please.
I have a couple pictures. Plus, I also found a rock in my pool. And it's not rock, it's actually cement. You can look through those. And there's also a picture of a ladder that she uses to climb over my fence. Because she's been in my property. I've seen her 3 times. The last time I saw her, she was just sitting there pulling some ice plants, and I said to my wife, let's just ignore her.
Why were you pulling these ice plants?
I got his permission. I asked him if he would please trim his ice plant because it was going under my fence and getting wrapped up in my vines. And he said he wouldn't. I said, do you mind if I do it? He said it was fine. So I hired a guy to trim his ice plant, and I told him at that time I was going to put rocks there to keep the land from going down the hill, and I was going to put plants there, plants with good roots to hold the soil. I was trying to better the property. I would never, ever, I was afraid of him. I'm still afraid of him. I would never put garbage on his place.
Miss Rao, listen to me. Somebody in your house was using part of his property to dump stuff.
No, Your Honor, no.
Well, I mean, otherwise what you're saying to me...
I don't know where the tennis shoe came from. I don't know, I have no idea where a tennis shoe came from. It was a huge man's tennis shoe. I live in my house by myself. I'm trying to clean up the area.
Okay. Now, I would like you to tell me what kind of damage you allege was done as a result of his throwing this debris over, and I want to see your police report, please.
He did not give a police report.
Well, if you don't have a police report, don't give me anything else.
What is his notice that he came out? I don't know why they didn't do a police report.
I don't know
why. He told Ron why he didn't do a police report.
Who are you?
My name's Ron Filipponi, Your Honor. I'm Mrs. Darlene's fiancé.
Okay.
And I picked up the police report, and the Sheriff's Department did not do a police report on an incident because there was no threats made and there was no physical damage.
Well, that's not true, because I have a police report here indicating that the alleged violation that Mr. Cruz was complaining of was trespassing, dumping onto property, and repeating violations.
Your Honor, anything I did was try to improve the property. I would never... First of all, I'm afraid of Mr. Cruz.
Ms. Rao, you cannot elect to improve somebody else's property.
It was to take care of my property. It's sliding down the hill.
You cannot elect to improve someone else's property.
I'm trying to prevent my land from going down. I was just going to put rock there to save the land.
I'm going to say it to you one more time. You can't do that. It's not your property.
Part of it is.
Part of it may be. The rest of it is his. You can't go on his property and put rocks on his property. You can't do that.
I put the rocks on the property because I didn't want to step on that pipe. I was trying to protect from stepping on the pipe. And then I could stand on a rock and move the, rather than standing on the soil and sliding down.
You can't do that.
And when I was doing that, I waved, he was in the window in the kitchen, and I waved to him, and he waved back.
On my property. She's on my property waving at me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've tried to explain to this lady who doesn't seem to get it. Maybe you get it. Do you get it?
I get it, Your Honor.
Maybe later, in a quiet moment, you give her a glass of red wine. Maybe you can explain it to her.
And later today...
We need one of those great fly swatters, because there's a sucker here that's looking to meet its ancient relatives. You or me?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Darlene Rao says neighbor Raul Cruz damaged her fence with rocks. Raul says it's Darlene who's dumping rocks on his property.
Now, I want you to show me what the damage was to your, whatever you say was damaged as a result of his throwing this stuff all the way down here.
Can you have the pictures of what's damaged?
No, I see a lot of schmutz, but I don't see much damage.
Well, this is part of the vase statue of the angel that he broke. This is what came off the chair that I passed it down from my mom to me. And there's a big bench there. You can see the damage to the big bench there.
You have a picture of the bench before?
Yes, I have a picture of the bench right here before.
And I see it.
This is before, and this is after I did the work. This is where all his plants were coming up.
No, I just want to see the picture of the bench.
And the bench is here, and the bench is here. There's all these pictures of the bench.
I also have a picture of her property, and she has like maybe 1.5 feet of white rock. If she wants to do something to prevent it from going down, she could build a retaining wall on that white rock she has.
Listen to me. You can't throw the rocks on her property because you got in a snit.
I was just returning it.
I heard you, Mr. Cruz. I mean, I've tried to explain to this lady who doesn't seem to get it. Maybe you get it. Do you get it?
I get it, Your Honor.
Good. I'm glad you get it. Maybe later, you know, in a quiet moment, you give her a glass of red wine. Maybe you can explain it to her that she cannot go on somebody else's property.
That's sound advice.
It's sound advice,
yes,
right? So you have to stay on your own land. In the meantime, I don't see a picture of this bench that you allege he damaged before.
Can I come up there and show it to you, please?
Sure. Show me a picture. Listen to me. I see this picture. I see this picture of the bench here, damaged. And all I want you to show...
Here's the bench, right here.
I see the bench. I want you to show me a picture of the bench before you say this happened.
There's little snapshots here.
Well, show me.
Sorry, it's far away, but that's the bench.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Pay attention. I can't see anything from this picture. Could you see anything from this picture? The answer is yes or no.
Yes,
Can you see what the bench looked like in this picture?
Yes.
Well, I can't. I can't. Step back.
I can see it.
Mr. Cruz, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Sir,
I need it.
You still have a chance. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Good. You can't throw property like you did. And she may be irritating and she may cause you all kinds of problems, but you still cannot resort to that kind of self-help. Listen, Miss Rao, bottom line is you can't put your foot on somebody else's property.
I got permission from him, too, and I swear to God, it's the truth. I will,
Wait,
but
Miss
I got
Rao,
permission from him.
Mr. Cruz, you have $1 in your pocket?
Yes, I do.
Take it out. Bird, take the $1. Give it to Miss Rao. That's your judgment for the damage that he did, Miss Rao. You don't seem to get it. I want you to get it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He gave me permission to put the rocks there, and I swear to God, that's the honest-to-God truth.
I think she's a good person, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we have differences, but let's just get along. We're neighbors.
He's a con man, and for some reason, I'm a victim.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kangas versus Kangas, step forward, please.
Licensed investigator Paul Kangas is suing his son, 21-year-old movie theater clerk Shane Kangas, for unauthorized credit card charges and for money owed on a computer. Shane says he worked off the debt by working in the family business.
Mr. Kangas, this young man is your son.
Yes, Your Honor.
How old is he?
21.
What do you do?
I work at a movie theater.
What do you do there?
I serve people popcorn, clean up at the night.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Computer technician.
Okay. Mr. Kangas, you say that your son came to live with you, and you also purchased a computer for him, and I understand that the agreement was it was going to be paid for in sort of barter. He was going to put in a certain number of hours working for your business, which is private investigating business.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that would pay off the computer.
Yes.
And you also gave him a credit card.
I did.
And told him to use it, but use it wisely.
It's to help him in the business, so when I send him out to do something, like go to the lab to develop film, that he'd have a way of paying for the film, picking up the film.
And what about personal stuff if he needed something?
Personal stuff, he had to check with me before He spent beyond $20. I have the same arrangement with my daughter, and she honors it strictly with her credit card.
That's what makes horse racing, sir. Children
Yes.
are different.
That's for sure.
Okay. After several months, he decided he didn't like it anymore, so he decided to sit in his room, play his guitar, whatever. You got annoyed. He left. You want him to pay for the computer and for the credit card bills that he racked up while he was still using the credit card. That's what your lawsuit's about.
Somewhat. It's the reason for buying the computer for him was to motivate him. So I made this deal with him. Look, you know, you pick out any computer you want, and the deal is you'll pay for it out of the amount of time you put in. I'm only asking you to work 4 hours a day. We lived across the street from the courts, so it was easy for him.
Well, how long did he work for you after you bought him the computer?
Several months. He was doing quite well. He was really motivated.
Well, how much did he work off of the computer?
About $1,000 of it.
That's a pretty nebulous contract that you have with him, Mr. Kangas.
Well, he didn't last that long because he got so into the computer. I mean, he'd be up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning on the computer, and I'm trying to sleep. But I was trying to motivate him. I was trying to control him. I was trying to exert some parental influence on him.
All sounds terrific. Remember the father knows best?
Yes, I do.
It's not like that anymore.
Well, it's...
You know, families don't sit around in shirts and ties having dinner together anymore. Everything that you did with your son sounds as if you had the right motivation. He was going to work, and he was going to pay off this computer, and he was going to be responsible with the credit card.
That's right.
Right.
But then we got into a dispute over the computer, and then he moved out and started spending the credit card like it was his credit card, and it was free money, and he just started sending me these bills for huge amounts of money.
Well, what I would like to see is the bills after he moved out. And then, Bert, you know what we're going to do? We need one of those great fly swatters that we used to have, because there's a sucker here that's looking to meet its ancient relatives.
I think I got just what you need.
You or me?
Oh! Took a nice little nosedive right into your cup. No, they didn't.
No. See what happens when I get annoyed?
Yes,
Okay. What date did you move out, young man?
It was 14 months ago.
Well, give me a month.
June or July.
June or July. So let me see the bills after June or July. Let's do July.
Well, the deal was no crazy expenses. And
Mr. Kangas, listen to me very carefully, sir. I raised a lot of teenagers, and they are so creative with a credit card.
Yeah.
I didn't know for a very long time that when I gave a kid a gas credit card, that they could go in and get enough food for their entire dormitory in one of those gas places. I didn't know that. And I said, how could they use so much gas? The campus isn't that big. Where are you using all that gas? And then I realized that you can buy milk and juice and newspapers and cookies and snacks and eggs. And you can not only buy, listen, and you can not only buy it for yourself, but you could buy it for all your friends, because if you buy it for all your friends, they give you the cash.
Right.
Do you understand? Listen, Mr. Kangas, I know that that happens. I didn't sue my children. So what I want to see is, after he left, because it was clear to me that when you left, you should have left the credit card.
He did. I took it away from him.
And how did he use it?
I don't know how he got another one.
How did you use it, sir? Shh. Is not an answer.
I had the number on my computer still, so I could still make online purchases.
Okay. Now, Mr. Kangas, what's your first name?
Shane.
Shane. So let me explain this to you. The computer, sir, is yours because your father made a too soft a deal for me to have to figure out how many hours you worked and whether or not you paid for the computer with the work that you did for him. That's his problem. But you're a big boy. So you knew that when you moved out of the house and your father took the credit card from you, you were not supposed to use it, right? Is not an answer.
Sorry.
If he took the credit card from you, he said to you, what did he say? Give me the credit card, and if you need it, go look on your computer and get the number? Give me the fly swatter. Let me explain something to you. He's a computer hacker.
That's right.
And he's going to go into your bills, and if he has your social security number, he'll steal your identity, and all of a sudden you'll find that you bought 9 surfboards.
Then he took the credit card out of my ex-wife's purse and went back to spending it again.
Well, it doesn't say much for you, sir, that you raised a thief.
No, I feel it's the unexpected legacy of divorce.
That is a crock. That's not the legacy of divorce. I've been divorced, and I had children, and none of them are thieves. 5 of them. Nobody would go into my pocketbook and steal my credit card. So that's ridiculous.
Well, he's depressed, and I feel that...
He's depressed?
Yeah, he's got a
He's depressed. He's a
motivation.
thief. But that's not being depressed. Look at him. Does he look depressed to you? He doesn't look depressed to me.
He's got a lack of
A little
motivation.
high, maybe, but not depressed. Right, Shane?
No.
Really?
Really?
Really? I see $849 on the credit card after July.
Unfortunately, I put all of the receipts in a special envelope, put it in a special place, and then I couldn't find it, so that by the time I got here, that's what I had. I understand. I should have had better control of my file.
No, you should have better control of your son.
That
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $849. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I can understand.
Car.
Yeah, this is case number 376 on the calendar in the matter of Hopper Damron versus Carnes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Who's Miss Hopper?
Hi.
Okay, and who are you?
I'm Melissa's mother. I'm Tammy Damron.
Why don't you have a seat, Miss Damron? How old are you?
Okay. 18.
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a minute? I don't know if we're going to need you. Is this your former husband?
Yes.
Or soon-to-be former husband?
Yes.
But you are still legally married?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
1 year on September 27th.
And you have a child who was how old?
Almost 3 months.
And Miss Carnes is his grandmother?
Yes.
Got it?
Got it.
From what I gather, a couple of years ago, you and your then boyfriend needed a car. You had an old car, and you decided to get a new one.
Right.
You didn't have good enough credit to buy a new one, so you asked Miss Carnes if she would buy the car in her name. You would make all the payments on the car, you and your husband.
Correct.
And you were going to trade in your old car as the down payment. They gave you a $2,000 credit.
Correct.
Is that right? And Grandma said she would do that, even though she risked her own credit if you didn't make the payments. But you did, in fact, you and your husband made the payments. Were you working during that year?
Yes, I did. Actually, I had a job being a nanny.
Did he work regularly?
No.
What did he do?
I have no idea. Well, he did actually...
What do you mean you have no idea? You lived with him.
He had a DJ job on the side. That's pretty much what he did on the weekends and sometimes during the week. And when he wasn't doing that, he was at home.
Who was taking care of the baby?
He wasn't born at the time.
So you were pregnant? Were you working while you were pregnant?
Yes.
Well, then an incident occurred with your husband.
Correct.
He assaulted you.
Yes.
That case is currently pending, is that
Yes.
right? Is that right, sir?
Yes.
So we're not going to get into that because that case has not gone to trial yet. So you separated. He took the car. You want your $2,000 back.
Correct.
That's what the case is about. Right?
Yes.
What kind of car did you trade in?
92 Geostorm.
And in what month and year did you trade it in?
August of 2003.
Well, explain to me why you think you are entitled to $2,000 back from Miss Carnes.
Basically, we had the arrangement that if we paid the payments that I would be able to drive the car, and we always made the payments. Whenever he wasn't working, I did pay the payments too.
And you used the car?
I honestly didn't have the car that much. He would take me to work.
Well, we don't balance that out. You had it sometimes, he had it sometimes. My question to you is, look, this is what she has.
Okay.
She doesn't have the car.
Right.
He has the car.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Stand up so I don't have to point. I'd like to look at you over here. She doesn't have the car. She's a good Samaritan.
Right.
He has the car.
Right.
All she does is have the aggravation. She has the loan. And she has the problem if he doesn't pay.
Right.
But she doesn't get anything out of this car.
Right.
So why do you think that she should give you $2,000?
Honestly, Judge, I think that I'm entitled to $2,000 because it is not fair that I have to raise my son by myself with no car, nothing, without...
That's not her problem. You want to say something? You could say something. I mean, that may be his problem, but that's not his grandmother's problem. Why should she go into her pocket and take out $2,000 and give it to you.
Because she's condoning what he did.
So what? That's not a legal response. What?
What I have to say, Judge Judy, is I did not, the car was mine. Melissa had transportation. She got together with this guy. The mistake in the matter was that we didn't get anything in writing. I didn't want them to use, Melissa had transportation. She worked, she goes to school. He didn't work. The fact of the matter is, now, whenever he wasn't working and the payments had to be made, it came from Melissa or from...
Ms. Damron, excuse me. You're not following me.
Okay.
Why should Miss Carnes, under what theory is it fair for her to go into her pocket? She doesn't have a car.
Because she didn't want to...
Just a second. She doesn't have a car. He's not a party to this action. Why should she go into her pocket and take out $2,000 and give it to your daughter?
I didn't want that car to be used as a down payment, but she
did it anyway.
Right. And
you're not
exactly. Yeah, she said that. She said that she would put the car in her name and not put their name on the title whatsoever.
Your daughter asked her to do that.
Yeah, and I was there at that time.
Just a minute. If they needed a better car, did they ask you to use your credit?
They did.
And you said no?
Yes.
Okay, because you didn't want to have that responsibility, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so far, nobody has given me a logical reason why I should have Miss Carnes go into her pocket and take out $2,000 and give it to your daughter.
The reason I see is the fact that she should get the money from her grandson. She should get the money from her grandson because Melissa has the brand new baby. I have to take off work. Melissa had transportation. Now she has no transportation. Right. And he pays no child support.
That's not her problem.
Right. It's not her problem. But
Why
I'm
is
saying
that
she should get
her
the money from
problem. So what you're telling me is she should have more control over her grandson to get him to pay up and be responsible.
Well, basically.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I am, because
that's ridiculous.
She had
because
the money.
That's not what you do in a court.
Right. Well, I guess not, but they had the money to bail him out of jail whenever he put her in the hospital 3 days before she was having their son.
Instead of taking off work, why don't you help her? If you have a job and you are regularly employed, buy a car. If she works, then you say to her, Melissa, dear, you're going to have to make payments on this car so that you'll have transportation. You're her mother. Instead, what you did was you relied on his grandmother to do that because you didn't want to do it. His grandmother is not responsible to give her $2,000. Maybe her soon-to-be ex-husband might be responsible for providing her with some sort of transportation because he now has the transportation, but that's not up to me. That's up to the judge who's handling their divorce. Certainly, Ms. Carnes is not responsible for $2,000 that your daughter would like to buy a new car. Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's just mad I won't be with her, and that's what she's causing all this drama over.
Basically, I was tired of being beat up and cheated on.
I've worked since I was 17. I've supported her. She's lived with me since she was 16.
No, he never works, and his grandmother basically bails him out of jail every time he beats my daughter up.
I want her out of my life. I would just want to be able to see my kid and live my life.
Basically, I don't think he's going to have anything to do with my son, considering I don't want him beating up my son, too.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of White versus Schimmels, step forward.
Nurse Diana White is suing her ex-boyfriend, switchboard operator Tom Schimmels, for the return of $4,000 worth of property. Diana says her ex is an abusive man. Tom is countersuing for harassment and mental distress.
Miss White, you claim that you met the defendant through a dating service. You moved in with him, and after a period of time, he told you that he wanted you to leave. You did, in fact, leave. It was not a pleasant separation. You claim he kept some of your property. You're suing him for that property in the amount of $4,000. Mr. Schimmel says that the only property that he has of yours is a stove that you left out on the front porch, that he's called you several times to come and get it. You can come and get it whenever you like because it's still there. Is that right, Mr. Schimmels?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
And that Mr. Schimmels is counterclaiming because he says that since you left, you have been embarking on course of harassing conduct towards him, and you caused some damage to his home when you moved out. Mr. Schimmels, I assume that you are legally blind, sir, and that dog is a seeing eye dog. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Miss White, when did you meet Mr. Schimmels?
About June of 2003.
How did you meet him?
Through a singles line, a singles dating service.
You arranged your first meeting when?
I'm going to say June, the end of June.
And when did you move in with him?
The middle of October.
When did you move out?
February 10th.
Why did you move out?
Throughout our relationship, Tom would get angry and he would say, I just want you to move out. I just want you out of here. It made it very difficult to...
So why didn't you move out?
Because then he would say, I don't mean that. I just say that when I'm frustrated. The night of January 31st, we got into an argument over something very small, and he assaulted me that night. He hit me. I have a 911 tape.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wasn't even comfortable in my own house.
Well, what would you like me to do about that, sir?
Well, that's why I countersued, because I was distressed, and,
I've been distressed
she...
most of my life, sir. It doesn't mean that I come to a court and try to annoy somebody.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Diana White says ex-boyfriend Tom Schimmels owes for the return of patio furniture and a stove. Tom says Diana won't leave him alone.
According to what I read in the complaint, Mr. Schimmels gave you $2,500. What did he give you the $2,500 for?
That was for a grandfather clock, a china hutch, some rugs, and a computer desk, the bedding for the master bedroom, pictures, rugs, things like that.
Well, do you have a list?
Those are not...
Do you have a list?
I do not.
I do, Your Honor.
You do? Can I
Yes.
see the list? Who is this? Your friend?
This is my witness, Tim Flanagan.
Tim Flanagan, Judy.
Your last name, sir?
Flanagan.
Mr. Flanagan, step back, sir. Bert doesn't
okay.
like anybody to get too close, even
Yeah,
though
all
I
right.
know you don't look dangerous.
Thank you. You bet.
A hutch, lamps, grandfather clock, curtains in the master bedroom, desk office, rug in the family room, and pictures in the master bedroom. Then you write, by no means is $2,500 fair, something the police have been to the house 2 times, and I do not want the... What is this, Bert? We'll ask her if she can read this, since it's her handwriting.
I couldn't read it either. Sorry for the pun.
Have been to the house. I do not want the abusiveness and fighting to increase, so under duress, I agreed to this.
Okay, fine. So, now, what things do you have, madam, that you say he refused to let you take from the house?
There's an entertainment center that I purchased in October, and I have a receipt for that. I purchased $2,300 worth of mini blinds and drapes. There's my antique stove.
Let's deal with this. As far as the mini blinds, etc., you don't get those back. They're fixtures. They're a part of the property, so you don't get them back, and he's not paying you for them. The stove you get back because he says he has the stove, and you can come and get it at any time.
Your Honor,
Go and
he
get it.
said this in the past, and he won't let me.
Okay, we'll create an order that 5 days from today's date, at 12 o'clock, you're going to come there with a, is this an old stove?
It's an antique stove.
Fine. Going to come there, and she's going to pick it up. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir. I've told her many times to come get it, and she
Fine.
refused to do that, and I've
Good.
given her, all of her stuff.
Fine. Terrific. The entertainment center. What about the entertainment center, sir?
She said when we were buying, I bought all the furniture from More Furniture. She said that she was going to buy that for me as a gift.
Give me the date.
It had to have been in October when we moved in, because I bought all brand new furniture for the whole house. And
Okay. So listen to me very carefully, sir. In October or November, that means that within either a month to 2 months, you told her to leave the house, correct? After just pay careful attention, Mr. Schimmel.
Okay.
Within a month or 2 after she bought the entertainment center, according to you, for the house, you told her to leave. Is that right?
In December, yes.
And it's true that some of the stuff that is in your home, like the blinds and the stuff that is attached to the house that I already told her she can't have back because they're attached to your house, you still have there. Is that right?
Correct.
And you are complaining, sir, that she's harassing you, because your counterclaim said that she's been harassing you for money. Is that right?
Yes, she owes me money for damaged deposits.
Just listen to me.
Okay.
You didn't sue her for damaged deposits or anything else until she brought this lawsuit against you, Mr. Schimmel. So what I'm saying to you is, you're complaining that the harassment is because she keeps calling you, asking you for money.
Right.
or her things. And I'm saying to you that it would have been smart of you if you told her to leave within a month or two of her buying you this entertainment center for the house she was moving. You should have given it back to her.
Well, I understood that it was a gift when she bought it.
I don't think so. How's that?
$771.52.
You prepared to give her back the entertainment center, sir? Along with the stove?
I can give her the stove. I mean, the entertainment center is built. I mean, it'd be really difficult for me to do that.
Okay. All right, so she gets the stove plus $771.50. What else, Miss White? And don't go into nonsense with me, because otherwise I'll reconsider the $771.50.
I'm not. My patio furniture is there, my molded lawn chairs, my padded folding lawn chairs are there. He did return 2 of my hoses, but the ends were cut off of them. There's wind chimes, there's
Don't go into nonsense with me.
A 1940 radio.
You have an old radio, 1940 radio.
That she was going to throw away and she said I could have.
It's now become very, very important to her to have this old radio back. It's an antique. She wants it back. And when you give her back this property, she's going to stop annoying you. Do you understand?
Your Honor, when it all... I understand.
Good. So we have a stove that's going back to you and a radio. That's it, Miss White. Plus $771 for the entertainment center. Now let us briefly go into this counterclaim that you have. She's been harassing you. She's going to stop harassing you and calling you for money because you're giving her back the property that, according to what I believe she's entitled to, she's going to get within 5 days. Then you say she pulled her paintings right out of the walls and I had to hire a handyman to patch up and paint the damaged walls.
Yes.
Did you pull everything out of the walls?
No.
Show me pictures.
We don't have pictures.
Don't have
Good. Then you have no counterclaim.
But we have where we paid a man to fix the walls, and I've seen the walls when she moved out, and there was holes in them.
Why didn't you take a picture? If you intended to sue her, why didn't you take a
Well,
picture?
I didn't realize they were going to get into such an argument over some holes in the walls.
I mean, neither. So if you didn't plan on getting into an argument over holes in the walls, why are you bothering me with it now?
Yeah, okay.
Good. Counterclaim is dismissed.
Great.
There's a judgment for the plaintiff that I'm entering. 5 days from today, you'd pick up your stove from his porch and the radio, which will be on the porch on top of the stove or underneath the stove or next to the stove, plus $771 for the entertainment center that he says is too difficult to dismantle. Do you understand?
Yes.
By 12 noon. Otherwise, it's gone. Consider it over.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I've tried to get it over for a long time.
That's all. Listen to me.
I've not,
It's
you know, I mean,
over.
it was, I wasn't even comfortable in my own house.
Well, what would you like me to do about that, sir?
Well, that's why I countersued, because I was distressed and
I've been distressed most of my life, sir. It doesn't mean that I come to a court and try to annoy somebody. Do you understand? You should have given her back her radio. You should have paid her for the entertainment center.
I tried to.
You did? You tried to pay her for the entertainment center? You paid her for the entertainment center?
No, because she said that was a gift.
Mr. Schimmels, say goodbye, sir. Mr. Flanagan will help you out. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Wait here, please.
Judge Judy continues.
Body. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Longs, you were injured when a plate glass window was broken and shattered into your car, and you were severely injured, according to your complaint. You had glass all over you, as well as damage to the car, which was not a serious one, and your pet that was in the car was also severely cut. And it is your claim that the defendant's son is responsible for that, and you want him to pay your medical bills, pain and suffering, damage to the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So why don't you tell me where this happened?
Okay, my husband, my younger brother, my dog and I were going to a local fast food restaurant, and we pulled up into the drive-thru and made our order. We pulled around to the window.
Who was driving?
I was driving. You were driving. And to be honest about it, I didn't know at the time that it was a window. I didn't know if it was a gun. I didn't know at the time what it was.
Tell me what you felt.
Just a million needles just going into my whole body. I mean, it's an indescribable pain. It was just like really, really bad.
After you felt this pain, did you have a consciousness to look around and see what had happened?
When it happened, I had started screaming, and my foot had come off the brake, which had caused my car to roll forward. My husband threw the car up in the park and got out of the car and went into the building.
Is your husband here?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you step up, please?
I looked down in my lap, and my whole lap was covered with glass that was about that thick. I was afraid to get out of the car because I was afraid from the way I was driving that it would go in between my legs and cut me worse than what it had.
What happened next?
I heard my husband yelling, and I went to get out of the car, and the glass started scraping the insides of my leg. And I went up to the window, and I started to the drive-through window, and I started screaming for my husband to call an ambulance because there was blood.
You were bleeding?
Yes. And I was telling Isaiah to get out of the car, I wanted to see if he was okay. He was okay, he wasn't bleeding. At that time, my dog went like this and put his paws up on the side of my car. And when he did, Your Honor, my dog's paw was all but completely cut off.
Is he okay?
No.
Were they able to save his paw?
Yes. We couldn't let him, look at it or get anything on it. And they give him antibiotics.
But he's home with you?
No, ma'am.
Why?
My dog was so protective over me that he would not let nobody else come near me other than my husband. And my dog attacked a man at my husband's job. And so therefore, we either had to get rid of him or they had to put him to sleep.
So what did you do?
My mother-in-law has him. She has a bigger house than what we do, but he has to stay on a chain.
Okay. So what happened?
It was a little incident at work. It was over a female. Me and the guy got into it.
You and a co-worker got into an argument over a girl?
Yeah, he started.
And what happened when you got into the argument with the co-worker?
Well, apparently our boss separated us. She told me to go home. I went home. I was kind of heated at the time, and I was telling my mom what was going on. So me and my mom went up there.
Okay. Now, so what did you tell your mom? That you got into an argument with this co-worker? Was it over a girl that you knew?
Basically, yes, ma'am. It was his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend? Had you made advances to this girl, or did he think you had made advances to this girl?
Yes, ma'am.
And what had he said to you during the course of this original argument, before you went home to your mother?
Well, we go get into it, No,
I don't know. I don't know what means get into it. Tell me what he said to you, what you said to him.
He said he's gonna kick my, and I told him, man, it's whatever.
You told him whatever?
Yeah.
Now your boss sends you home.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he comes home and he talks to you.
Yes, ma'am.
What did he tell you?
He told me that him and this boy had an argument.
Did he tell you what it was about?
He said it was over some girl.
Did you ask him any specifics?
I asked him, what kind of argument that y'all was in. And he just said, Mama, it was over a girl. He keep messing with me and stuff like that. I said, well, we'll go back to the restaurant. We're going to talk to the young man and the manager and you. We're going to get together to resolve this matter. When we get there, my son goes into the back.
Were you there?
Yes, ma'am, I was
there.
Were you?
No, just a second. Were you in the back with him?
I was in the back when they got to fighting, but when he went back there, no, ma'am.
When you went to the back of the restaurant, your mother was in the front of the restaurant. Who did you see in the back of the restaurant?
I seen him.
The boy?
Yeah.
And? Did you say anything to him?
No, I did.
Did he say anything to you?
He said, what's up now? And I just walked right past him. And I laughed at him like, man, whatever.
You walked past him, you laughed at him, and then where did you go from there?
I went to go to the manager.
Did you get to the manager?
No, because by the time I got to the fry, he had hit me from behind. And he pushed me, tried to run me through the glass, and I caught myself.
Yes?
So I'm still facing him. By the time I brought myself back out, I didn't know she was there.
So far you didn't break the window?
Yes, I did. My back went through the window.
How could you be face to face, sir, if he pushed you from behind?
See, just...
So he hit you from behind, but you didn't go into the window.
No, he hit me, and then when I turned around, he rushed me. He ran me into the window.
Uh-huh.
When he did that, I had, got me a little brace, and my back went through the window, but I came back out the window.
Okay. Now, Miss Scroggins.
Yes, ma'am.
You went to the workplace with your son to have a discussion with the manager.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tell me why you didn't say to your son, you stay out here, I'm going to speak to the manager.
Before I can tell him that, he had already went to the back.
How did you get to the store?
I don't live too far from there.
Did you walk or drive?
Walk.
Shh.
I drove.
Well, you drove, but your son walked. Did he walk behind the car or next to the car? How did that work? He said he walked. You said you drove. So did he jog along inside the car?
No, he was in the car with me.
All right. did you discuss with your son how you were going to handle this situation?
Yes, I did.
And what did you tell him?
I told him we was going to talk to the manager to resolve this problem because he has to have a job. That's exactly what I told him.
Fine. Did you tell him we're going to go in together and speak to the manager?
We went in together.
But then he left you.
While I was standing at the counter.
Yeah.
He went behind to where the manager and stuff.
No, he went behind where the boy was.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Shirley Long says she was in a fast food drive-thru when worker Paul Body broke the restaurant's window during a fight. Shirley says the shattered glass injured her and her dog.
Where's the other boy?
He is currently in jail.
For what?
I have no idea. I had to put cases against both of them, and the one was never signed because he is currently in Montgomery County Jail.
Okay. Can I see your bills, please? You still have any embedded glass in your body?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where?
I have it coming out of my left ear. It's in my head still.
You have any photographs?
It had went down into my breast, Your Honor, and it had went up underneath of them.
Okay. I don't have to see any more bills.
Okay.
Miss Scroggins.
Yes, ma'am.
You handled this matter all wrong. If your son comes home and says to you he's having some trouble with the guy where he's working, and the trouble started because of him, and if you want to resolve the situation, then you pick up the phone and you call the restaurant, you get the manager on the phone, and you say, we'd like to come over and have a discussion, all of us. I would like to be able to resolve this matter because my son really needs the job. And if at all possible, maybe we can resolve this dispute between the two boys. Does that sound intelligent?
Yes, ma'am.
Instead, right after the argument, when he was hot, because according to him, he was hot, he was angry, right? When he came home?
Yes, ma'am.
He was angry. You put him in the car and you drive over there because the situation was bad enough for the manager to send him home because he was the wise guy. And instead of saying to your son, you sit out here in one of these little tables, I'm going to find the manager, you let him go in the back where you knew the other guy was. Then the other fellow said to him, what are you doing here? He laughs at him, because that's what he just said. He laughed at him and he said to him, whatever. That's what you just told me.
So, okay, if somebody say they go kick my, then what I'm supposed to do?
Get another job. Go to another restaurant.
No, I got
It's not
rights
the
to
only
laugh.
fast food restaurant in town. And you don't mess around with somebody else's girlfriend.
You said anything about me messing around. I said, I know her. There's a difference from knowing and messing.
Then what you do is you sit down calmly in your mother's kitchen and say, maybe we can resolve this because I didn't do anything wrong. Let's call my boss and go over there sometime after work when nobody else is around, and maybe the boss will die and this other guy will sit down and I'll tell him it's all a misunderstanding. I didn't do anything with your girlfriend. So, is it both of their faults?
I think it is.
Sure, but the other guy's in jail, so he has to pay the whole thing. Because but for the fact that you drove him over there when he was hot and angry, and he went back there and tormented him a little bit, laughed at him. She got hurt. She's suing you for $3,000. It's nothing. She still got glass in her head. It's probably what you have up here. Solid glass. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't like the way that the guy had come out here and tried to fight with my husband after the court was over.
For him to come out and act like he did, I mean, he's just a kid.
It would have been different if it would have happened to him. If the glass would have gotten embedded into his back, he surely wouldn't have probably been out here threatening my husband if he would have felt what I was feeling.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson, Obligacion versus Rogers. Step forward, please.
16-year-old Tabitha Obligacion and her mother, Katrina Johnson, are suing Tabitha's former friend, 20-year-old food service worker Deshaun Rogers, for chipping her tooth.
You're Tabitha? Your mother?
Yes.
It is your claim, Tabitha, that the defendant chipped your tooth
Yes.
while you were sort of fooling around at his mother's house. You want him to pay the bill.
Yes.
What were you doing at his house?
We were supposed to go to a party, but we stopped by his house.
So tell me what happened when you got there.
Well,
Look at me.
We were there for a few minutes, and then Deshaun took my purse and ran into the restroom. And I went in there to get my purse.
You mean just out of nowhere, he got up and grabbed your purse?
Well, yeah, like he was playing, I guess, and then he grabbed my purse. So he ran into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom after him to get my purse. He threw my purse into the bathtub, and then he closed the door. And then he started spraying me with 409, and then he started wrestling with me. And then the next thing I knew, he bumped my head on the sink, and it chipped my tooth. And the next thing I know, my tooth went through my lip, and I started bleeding. And then when he realized what happened, he stopped wrestling with me, and then he opened the door. And I ran out, and I was bleeding, and I realized I was bleeding. And then I went back to realize that my tooth was chipped. And then I went to go find the other half of my tooth, and then I found it, and then I glued it back on with super glue.
Tell me your version of the events, sir.
What had happened was all in the house playing with water.
What do you mean playing with water?
We was squirting water on each other. And what she did was she reached under the counter, she got my mom's spray. It's wood grain spray. So she ran in the bathroom, was playing around. She sprayed it in my eyes. So I walked out the bathroom, and I walked in the living room where everybody else was sitting, and that's when she ran out afterwards. And I ran outside after. I said, "What's wrong, Tabitha?" She said, "I chipped my tooth on your counter." I said, "How'd that happen?" She said, "I slipped when I was spraying the spray."
Tabitha, you left out the fact that you were all sort of fooling around with water.
We weren't fooling around with water.
Were you fooling around with anything?
No, he started spraying with 409, and I didn't have any 409 before that.
I didn't ask you about the 409. I asked you about whether you were all sort of fooling around when you were in his house. You see why it didn't make sense to me that he would just go and grab your purse from nothing. You were all sitting around waiting for him to change, and he just grabbed your purse and went in the bathroom. So you want to start this again and tell me what you were all doing in the house? Were you there? Step up. Tell me your name.
Nicole.
All right, Nicole. What was going on with the water?
I didn't see that part because I was in the other room.
What were you doing in the other room?
Watching TV, waiting for them to get ready.
So you don't know anything about any water?
Well, I heard them yelling and stuff, but I didn't
What
see
did you
anything.
hear?
I heard her saying stop and let me out the bathroom and stuff like that.
I want you to tell me what happened when you saw her for the first time after she came out of the bathroom.
She was holding her mouth, and she pulled me into the backyard, and she told me what happened.
What did she tell you happened?
She said that she chipped her tooth while she was horseplaying with him.
Horseplaying? Is that what she said? Is that what she said?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
I wasn't.
Is that what you said to your friend?
No, that's not what I said.
Well, why would she lie to me? Because she's telling me the truth. I chipped my tooth when I was horsing around with Sean. Is that what she said?
Not in those words.
Well, what did she say?
She said she chipped her tooth.
No, you didn't finish the statement.
Well, that's what I remember now.
You told me no less than 60 seconds ago that she came outside and she said, I chipped my tooth when I was horsing around with Deshaun. Now you're telling me that was a mistake?
Yes.
Sit down. Now, you want to get back to how were you fooling around with Deshaun?
Well, he got up and took my purse and ran into the bathroom, threw my purse into the bathtub, and then closed the door. So I couldn't get out anyways.
So you had followed him into the bathroom?
Yeah, because he took my purse because I didn't want him looking through it.
Were you laughing?
Was I laughing?
Yeah, with him.
It wasn't a laughing matter.
No, I'm asking you a question. At that point, were you sort of joking around, give me my purse?
No, because he took my purse, and that wasn't funny to me.
Something doesn't ring true here. Did you ever date him?
No.
So let me see what your dental bills are.
And Deshaun also came to my house because he knew that he had something to do with my tooth being chipped. And he did. And he gave me $100, and he also, and Nicole was also there. She did witness this, and she also witnessed him saying that he was going to make more payments because the $100 was not going to just cover the bills.
Absolutely. I absolutely think it was the right thing to do, right?
Yeah.
And tell me why you gave her the $100.
Because I felt bad for her.
No, because you felt partially responsible.
Yeah.
Were you there? Step up. Tell me your name.
Dwayne.
Dwayne. Tell me what you saw.
Well, everybody was in the kitchen, like, playing around. Like, I was getting wet with water, too. And them two, they started going towards the back, spraying each other. Both of them was playing around.
What were they spraying each other with?
409 spray. Wood
How many
grain.
spray cans were there?
It was one.
Well, how could they both spray each other? Who had
Like,
the can?
It was like back and forth thing. And I didn't see no purse. in the bathroom, anywhere.
Wow. How old are you?
16.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Should know better. So should you. But since boys develop more slowly, he's probably about the same mental age as you are, maybe even a little younger. It's true, you know that. Your daughter is partially responsible for what happened. They were fooling around. Immediately after the incident, that's exactly what she told her friend. Do you understand?
I don't believe that, though, because
I don't care what you believe.
Yeah.
That's not what important what you believe. The only thing that's important is what I believe. Okay. And what I heard initially from her.
That's not what happened, no.
Yes, it is. They were fooling around. I think that he has to pay something towards what happened. He gave her $100. Half of your bills are $590. He gave her $100. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which means he owes you $490. That's the judgment of the court. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Miss Mary, according to your complaint, you loaned the defendant $3,500. You knew him from a previous relationship. You want to tell me when you loaned him the money, what was it for, and where did you get it from?
I loaned him the money in the middle of February. We had known each other about a year and a half prior to. We had been dating. It didn't work out. He couldn't commit. We reconciled at the beginning of the year. He came to me crying about the middle of February, indicating that his life was in danger, that if he didn't have this money, he would be hurt. I trusted him. At that point, he said that he wanted to make this relationship work. I took him for his word. He swindled me.
Where did you get the money from?
It was a tax debt that I owe. I took a loan out on my house.
Interesting. It was a tax debt. What kind of tax debt?
I owe the IRS money from cashing stock in. I took a mortgage out on my house.
You have proof of that?
Yes. He knew I was getting a loan for this money. He came to me right about the time it was about to fund.
Let me see.
Your Honor, that's false. I didn't know anything about the loan until after the fact.
He had made an agreement with me, an oral agreement, that he would pay this back before the 15th.
Just a second. Okay, and what date did he come to you in February?
On the 20th.
And what did he tell you that the money was needed for?
I have no idea. He said that his life was in danger. I took
You didn't
him for
ask
his
him?
word. I just saw that he was scared.
And you gave him the money in cash?
Yes. He indicated that was the nature of it.
Your Honor, I do have a
Just a
bank
second.
account. I'm able to cash checks.
Just a second. How much was the amount of your tax bill?
$70,000.
Okay. Go.
Your Honor, this first thing I'd like to present this letter, actually, that I have. It shows
A letter from what?
It's a letter, actually, from the plaintiff. It shows a little bit of what her word is, and
Your Honor, I have never mailed him any letters.
Just a minute.
it obviously has her. That's the original there, Your Honor, with her signature at the bottom.
I can't read and listen to you at the same time. Okay, just show this to her. That really has nothing to do with this case.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, that goes to show that her word really means nothing, to tell you the truth, Your Honor. This was not a loan.
Well, tell me what
I
it
had
was,
done
sir. I
work
read
for
your
her.
answer. Tell me what it was.
I had done work for her in the middle of last year. My brother as well was working with me at the time. He was my employee. And we had spoken with her, him and I, at the same time, were present, to do anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 worth of work on her home.
That's a lie.
Skylights, countertop, tile,
Just a
replace a
second.
double door in the front entry.
Okay, so you had started to do some work on her house.
That's correct.
When did you start to do the work on her house?
I believe it was July 24th or 25th. We worked there
Of
for 3 days.
2000?
Yes.
And how many days did you work there?
We worked there for 3 days, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
On the third day, we had the job almost completely done, the portion that we were doing, and she said, I'll finish it myself. Had never given us any money for materials besides a $500 check. She had not paid us for our labor,
Just a
which I
second.
had to pay
Wait,
my
wait,
employee.
She gave you $500.
A check, that's correct, and that
Well,
was
the
in
check you
July of
cashed.
2000.
I'm speaking. She gave you a check for $500, and according to you, you worked there 3 days.
That's correct.
Do you have a contract with her?
But we had a verbal agreement.
Did you have a contract with her?
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay. Because no contractor starts a job that says it's between $8,000 and $10,000. When you
She
do
had a
I'm
list.
speaking. When you do a contract, you say this item is going to cost this and that item is going to cost that. You don't believe that the work that you did in 3 days was $4,000.
No, it was not, but Subsequent to me accepting this job, I turned down numerous other jobs because I was going to be at this job for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
You have proof of that?
Not on hand, Your Honor.
Well, that's your defense. That's your defense to this action. So you should have proof. Now you're telling me she just came home one day and said, I don't want you to work on this project anymore.
That's correct. Actually, Your Honor, a few days before that, she had told me that she loved me and wanted to be with me. We went to her house that evening. My brother and I spoke with her on doing this work. She had a large list, pulling out bushes, skylights, numerous work around her house that she had just purchased. We told her, well, okay, we can start in a couple of days. We came by on the Monday of the first part of the week. When we showed up, we asked her to open the garage door so we could unload
So you
materials.
didn't have another job right then?
No. I told her I could be there on Monday.
Just a second. So you were free immediately?
No, I told her I could help her out.
My statement was you were free immediately. She spoke to you the week before. You were able to start that Monday. So you were free. You didn't have any other commitments.
At present, I did not at hand. She had asked me first. I had other jobs that I went to. That's the main reason why.
No. My question was, and your response is, you had no other commitments that prevented you from starting her job immediately.
No, I did not.
Okay.
My father had just passed away, so therefore I was still grieving from his death. I had been taking care of him for the first part of that year as well.
Mr. Johnson, pay attention to me. This is about money. This is not about
I
your
have a bill
father's
here as well
unfortunate
that I normally
demise.
write up for customers
Okay?
that I work
now,
for.
don't you understand when my mouth is moving? There's only one voice that I hear.
I do apologize, Your Honor.
Good. Now, if you felt that she owed you money in July of 2000, why didn't you sue her?
I had spoken to my attorney on putting a lien on her house, and work picked up at that time, so I just filed the bill away that I had written up for the initial work that we had started.
Then I'd like to see the bill that you say you filled out then in July of 2000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
For the work that you started.
I do believe there's a legal term for this called quantum merit, Your Honor.
You didn't do $4,000 worth of work in 3 days. I know what the legal terms are. Quantum merit means that you are paid for the work that you do.
That's correct.
This is not the work that you did in 2.5 days.
She gave me a check for $500, that is it.
Pay attention. This is not the work that you did in 2.5 days. That's not what your answer is. Your answer is that you gave up other jobs because you had a job that you thought was going to last several weeks. That's your
correct.
defense.
That's correct.
So what are you showing me this bill for $4,000?
That's the work that we started doing. Halfway through that, she decided to tell us, and I'll finish the job myself, because the first day we arrived on the job, she had a new boyfriend there.
Your Honor, the reason that I... Did you remove the countertop?
That's correct.
Did you install a new countertop?
That's correct.
One out of 3.
What do you mean 1 out of 3?
There are 3 countertops. He installed one, gouged the second one, and left the other one standing in my garage.
Just a second. Is it there?
I paid somebody else to correct the job.
That's false, Your Honor. There was one section left not put in, Your Honor, and that was the sink side, and that was the day that she asked us to leave. She would finish the job herself.
I fired him because he verbally assulted me.
What did he say?
He quoted me that the job would take 3 days, cost about $800. We're talking tile on the floor, kitchen countertops, and a kitchen sink.
The initial job that we had quoted was just the surface.
On the 3rd day, my stove was still not put in its place. The countertops were... My kitchen was not functionable. He kept verbally assaulting me, making rude comments to me.
Your Honor.
I don't want to hear any interruptions.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Please don't interrupt.
That's a lie. That's a
It is
pure
not
lie.
a lie.
Out. Him. Out. And the next time somebody speaks, I'm going to resolve this case. It's not going to be to their satisfaction.
She's a liar. That's a lie.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There is not to be any discussion between the two of you, and you are to respond to my questions. That's the way I run a courtroom. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janelle Murray says ex-boyfriend Rule Johnson owes for an unpaid loan.
Okay. You fired them.
Yes.
Did he leave a sink there?
No. I bought my own sink.
Okay.
That's false as well, Your Honor.
Show me the bill.
I don't have the receipts. I had given them to her at the time.
You're a contractor. Contractors have bills. Can I see
Checks.
it? Did you buy a sink set, faucet, and plumbing?
I did not. That was to install her old faucet and plumbing with
You
the
didn't
new
do that.
sink.
Just a second. You didn't do that.
No. That was when she called us.
Just answer my question. You didn't do that.
No.
And you didn't buy the sink.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. That's false.
And yet you have no proof that you bought a sink, right?
I've got my witness, which you asked to leave the courtroom.
Yeah, because he has big mouth. He doesn't know where he is, and he's not coming back.
Well, when a plaintiff lies, I mean, it's only fair to stand up and say when somebody's a liar.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's how I resolve a case when you have a big mouth. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day, Your Honor.
You may step out.
She couldn't accept the fact that she couldn't have me.
He's obviously very full of himself.
She's been obsessive after my brother. She's stalked him.
Ladies, fair warning.
She's a crazy lady.
Pretty faces and money don't mix.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gilbraith versus Brown. Step forward.
30-year-old electrician Steve Gilbraith is suing his ex-wife, 30-year-old food care supervisor Kristen Brown, for an insurance settlement she received when their marital home burned down.
Mr. Gilbraith, you and the defendant had been married.
Yes, ma'am.
You are now divorced.
Yes, ma'am.
Your claim has to do with some property that was in the marital home. The marital home was destroyed by fire. The defendant was reimbursed for losses in that fire by insurance, and you want to be paid for the stuff that was in the house that belonged to you.
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay. So now I need some dates from you, sir. When were you and the defendant married?
We were married October 7th, 1989, divorced October...
Sure, just a second. I'll ask the questions. When did you separate?
Late 97, 98.
Do you remember the month?
I believe it was in January.
Of 1998. And when you separated, you were living in the home that burned down?
At the time, yes, and then I was asked to move out.
No, just a second. Just answer the question. Don't volunteer. Never volunteer. At the time that you separated, you were living in the house that burned down.
Yes.
The divorce became final when?
On October 29th, 99.
Almost 2 years after you had separated.
Yes.
And 1 month later, the house burned down.
That is correct.
After the final divorce.
That is correct.
Now, what property do you claim, sir, was left in the house when you moved out in January of 1998?
They were personal belongings of mine that the defendant had agreed that I could keep there.
You're volunteering information again. I said, what property did you leave in the house?
This is a list of everything, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Galbraith, between January of 1998 and the time of the divorce in October of 1999, had you gone back to the house at all for any of your property?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What property did you go back for?
Mainly at the time, it was my personal clothing and stuff like that. Things that I had left there were items that I was actually working on remodeling my son's room in the house, my tools and stuff like that. The majority of what I took out was my personal clothing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see a large document in there. Is that your judgment of divorce?
I have my the degree of disillusion here also.
I'd like to take a look at it. This says that at the time of your divorce, you and your wife had allocated all property that belonged to each of you.
That's correct.
And your judgment of divorce says that at the time of this agreement, you have decided whose property belongs to whom, and whoever has physical possession of that property now is the owner of that property. Did you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
The husband and wife agree that each party shall retain as his or her own, free and clear of any claims of the other party, all items of household goods and furnishings presently in his or her possession. That's what it says. So, at the time that the house burned down, sir, all the property in her possession was hers.
The power tools that were in the house I was using to, like I say, to remodel my son's house. Those are tools I use every day on my job. The items that was in there were items that we, her and myself, had agreed verbally that she would allow me to keep there.
Then you put it in this agreement. Did you have an attorney?
At the time, no.
Should have. You signed this.
As I said before, we had a disillusion, and it was an agreement between us in the best interest of our children to keep everything. We've been friends for over 20 years. We tried to keep it in the most friendly possible way we could.
That's fine. What I'm saying to you, Mr. Gilbraith, is that you keep it as friendly as possible. But when you outline in an agreement all other property, you talk about the house, you talk about the car, your truck. It names the truck. It names the year of the truck, the make of the truck, the model of the truck that you're going to keep. It talks about the car that she's going to keep, that she's going to keep up the insurance. You have to do certain deed transactions. It talks about all of those things. And then it talks about personal property. And if you had any personal property in that home, you'd just as easily say, listen, we have to put in another paragraph and list all this property that I have in the home that belongs to me. That's very easy. Didn't anybody tell you that, sir? Am I the first person who's told you that?
No, ma'am. I just, as I said, I assumed, being friends that we were, that I could take her on her word.
Did you give him your word that this was all of his property?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
This list, which was made April of 2001, well after the fire.
That's how long it took me to get all the records and inventory from the insurance company.
It may be, sir. But you had no insurable interest in the property as of the date of your divorce. Because as of the date of this divorce, you were not the owner of any property that was in her possession. It's a simple legal matter, unless she acknowledges that she was merely holding this property for you. You acknowledge that?
No, ma'am.
However, she knows the tools that were in my son's room and all my stuff that was there in that room was being done for her in regards to the remodel of that home, which I had promised I would finish. Unfortunately, a fire happened in the home before that.
That may be. But you're not suing under that theory that you were a workman doing renovation in the house, your tools were there when it burned down, and therefore those tools should be covered by her insurance.
It also says in my agreement any inheritant material that was in the house was also mine.
You're talking about under miscellaneous?
Yes, I had things that were given to me by my deceased mother and etc.
As to Gilbreth, don't pull my leg. Okay. The section that you're reading says the parties agree that each shall retain as his or own, free and clear of any claims of the other, all items of clothing and personal effects presently in his or her possession. The parties further acknowledge and agree that neither party shall have any enforcement rights to the other's inheritance or expectancies, and all future inheritances and expectancies shall remain the property of the inheritor, which means that if somebody dies in your family and leaves you money or property, she cannot claim any of that property. That has nothing to do with your power tools.
No, it has to do with quilts that were made by my mother and my grandmother.
You should have gotten them out before 2 years. Those were not power tools. You don't redo your son's room with quilts.
No, but that's things that she had stored.
Mr. Galbraith, this is a very simple case. You were divorced. At the time of your divorce, the judgment's divorce said all property that you each have in your individual possession belongs to each of you individually, free and clear of any claims by the other. You had the opportunity at the time of the divorce to include this list as property that was in the house that you intended to get back, that it was an agreement with the defendant that you would get back.
She knew
Very simple. I said including in the judgment of divorce. You did not do that. If you did not do that, you had no interest in any property in her home. Your case is dismissed.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
You're Mrs. Bridges?
Yes, ma'am.
And who are you?
I'm Mr. Bridges, David.
Well, you weren't there during the course of this incident that brings us to court today.
No, ma'am.
Is that right? So why don't you have a seat?
Okay.
Tell me your first name.
Brittany.
Brittany, you have a boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Your boyfriend is her stepson.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your boyfriend here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Boyfriend. According to your complaint, you were at the defendant's house. You were having an argument with your boyfriend. The argument got kind of loud. The defendant, his stepmother, came outside. There was some sort of an altercation, and at the end of this altercation, according to you, the defendant burned up all of your CDs.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing for the value of those CDs and also some mental anguish. And she has a rather interesting defense to the CDs, although she acknowledges she burned them, correct?
That's right.
When did this incident occur?
July 3rd.
And you were at the defendant's home.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing there?
Me and my boyfriend went up there to go swimming
How long has he been your boyfriend?
for nearly 2 years.
So you know the defendant very well.
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume that you had always had a nice relationship with her.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened on this particular day when you went over there to go swimming?
Well, me and him got into an argument, and she came out there and was asking, she was in our argument, And
what did she say?
She was just trying to, ask us what was going on, and we told her, and she was like, well, y'all need to be fighting and all this. Then she started getting ill with Rodney. So Rodney...
She started to get what?
Ill, and was just starting to holler at Rodney.
Where was this argument taking place, Brittany?
We were walking down from the pool house when me and him was arguing, going to the house, and then she came outside.
Were you yelling? Were you raising your voices?
No, ma'am.
What were you arguing about?
The tanning bed.
Tanning bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
We were arguing who was going to get in first. It was stupid.
Okay. So she came out and she started hollering at the boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Her stepson.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And then Rodney just told her that we wanted to leave. So he went to the house and got all his clothes and put them in his car, and her car was parked behind his car, which was in the garage. And it was blocked in, and he asked her, he said, will you move your car? And she said, no, y'all are not leaving. He said, yes, we can leave if we want to. And she said, no, I'd like to see y'all leave. So that time, Rodney just said, look, I'm going to call your mom and see if we can call the police to get my car out of the way. And so we walked over to the side of the house and called the police. And that time, she walked over there and got in his car and got all of his clothes and my CDs. We didn't know what was going on. Then her granddaughter and grandson came over there and told us that she was burning all of our stuff.
What happened next?
We ran over there, and Rodney kicked over the 55-gallon drum to see if anything was saved, and everything was burned.
Was there a fire in the 55-gallon
Yes, ma'am.
drum? What was in the fire?
All his clothes and my CDs.
So what happened after you saw your stuff burning?
Well, she was yelling at me, trying to fight me.
What do you mean try to fight you?
She told me, when we went over to the fire, she was like, get off my property, and we were like, okay. And then she was chasing me out into the road, trying to fight me, for I don't know what reason.
All right, Miss Kimbrough, let me hear your version of these events.
Okay, they were out in the yard fighting. First, my husband went out, and he couldn't stop them, so I went out, and they had went back up to the pool. And I asked them what happened, and Brittany said it was her fault. And I said, Rodney, no matter whose fault it is, you don't need to be talking to her like that, and you don't need to be cussing. Our neighbors...
Is that what he was doing? He was cursing?
Very badly. Both of them were cursing. And I told them not to do that, because our neighbors had called and could hear them, and our 2 grandchildren was there and heard it. So they came running back down to the house, and Rodney went into the bathroom, got his clothes out of the dryer, and he said he was leaving. But now his car was in my carport because it wouldn't run. It wouldn't even crank. So I knew he couldn't go nowhere, but I did ask him to leave. And my daughter Summer had came up, and something had happened earlier that day that I don't really know, but Brittany and Rodney and Summer were arguing. Well, when she came up, they started again. And I was trying to stop them, and when Summer walked over, Rodney pushed her back, and then when he pushed Summer, I started over there, and he just, pushed me. And when Brittany was cussing us, Rodney was standing there with his hands out like this, letting her cuss. And I just said, would you please call your mother to come get you, Brittany? So Rodney looked at his daddy and said something really bad. And I don't know if, I should say that, but it was really said no effing body could whip him. And then he looked at me and he told me something really bad that it's hard to say, but he took off running when he said it. And I got mad when he said that because it hurt me because I'd really been good to Rodney.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 13 years, but now we've raised Rodney most of those years he's been with us. And I grabbed his clothes, what few he had gotten out of the dryer, and I took them up to the barn and I burned them. And the CDs that was in there, I didn't see those when I grabbed the clothes. They just got mixed up because they was in the front seat of the car. And when I threw them over, I saw the case. It was a very small little CD case. And they were not Brittany's CDs.
How do you know that?
Well, they were Rodney's, and they was, in his car.
How do you know that?
Well, they had his name on them.
She says that they were her CDs.
No,
but in
ma'am.
a case that had his name on it.
It said Rodney Loves Brittany on the case. It didn't have just his name on it. I've got his CD case here, and I've got the CDs that was burned, the cases for them, what I had.
She had not said anything about the CDs at all until later that night when her stepdad called me and asked me for $600 to pay for the CDs.
I've got the burnt CDs too.
No, I believe that they were her CDs.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This one is called Mo Thugs, DMX, Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Did you ever hear of Barry Manilow?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Brittany Manis says her boyfriend's stepmother, Jackie Kimbrell, burned her CDs.
What's important is, Miss Kimbrell, you're the mother. You acted out of anger when you burned the stuff. And certainly I'm not excusing young kids who were outside in front of your house embarrassing you in front of your neighbors, cursing. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for you nor your husband to become involved. According to Brittany, you had always had a pleasant relationship. So you think she was just having a bad day, or were you and Rodney outside?
We weren't cursing.
No?
No, ma'am.
Well, what do you think Mr. Kimbrell came outside for?
We weren't cursing. We might have been raising our voice, but we wasn't
Okay, so
loud.
now we're raising voices. So
We
first you
wasn't
told
loud.
me you weren't raising voices, now you're raising voices. Did Rodney say something to his dad that was nasty?
Well, he said it to her, to
He said
Jackie.
it to both of us. He said
he
it
hugged
to
his
Roger.
dad and said it to Jackie.
Were you outside when he said that?
Yes, ma'am.
There were neighbors who lived close by?
I don't know how close. I don't know if there's somebody that lives right next door, but I know somebody lives in the trailer down the road.
There was a neighbor sitting directly across the house from me. His trailer sits in front, and he was sitting in his yard.
There isn't a question in my mind, Miss Kimbrell, that these CDs belong to Brittany. How many CDs were in your case?
31.
31?
Yes, ma'am.
How large was this case?
It was about this big, but we had them back to back, like 2 or 3 CDs in one little packet.
How do you know there were 31 CDs in there?
Because I've got all the CD cases that I had in there, most of them.
But what do you mean most of them?
That's just most of the CD cases that I have that I haven't lost. But I've written down all the names of the CDs.
Let me see them.
It was a very small CD case.
I think, Miss Kimbrell, you were probably
Here's
so
the
angry.
CD case, and here's the list.
You didn't much care what the CD case looked like. You just made a big grab
I was
for
very
every...
upset.
You you just made a
Things
big
he said
grab
to me,
for
but it
everything.
wasn't
Here's the
small
list
case.
of CDs.
These are the cases that are now empty. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 empty cases. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's the ones that I could find.
Now, those are the only ones you're going to get. Now, you have a bill for these? How much were they?
We found the approximate amount for the 31 that was in there.
Forget 31. You have proof of these, 14. Let me see what kids listen to. 18 rock hard hits, 504 boys, B-O-Y-Z.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Booty Mix 4.
They've never been allowed to listen to him at my house.
This one is called Mo Thugs.
That has
Some
two
guys
CDs.
look like I sentenced a couple of years ago. Dr. Dre.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he a physician?
Not really.
Master P. Now, here are 4 normal-looking girls.
Destiny's Child.
Very nice-looking girls. Normal. DMX. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. What happened to Benny Goodman?
He was replaced by Bootleg Booty.
Bootleg Booty. Oh, Master P again. Who's the big fan of Master P?
Me.
You are.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever hear of Barry Manilow?
No, ma'am.
Never heard of Barry Manilow?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you're asking me about the worth of these albums, since you don't have receipts for them, right?
We don't usually keep our receipts for CDs.
How much do they cost?
On the average, about $15 a CD.
$210. 14 times 15. That's the average. What are you doing sitting over there? Who did you come to court with today?
Brittany?
Your Honor, I tell you the reason Rodney's here today is because he was threatened by David and Tammy to come to court, or at the time this happened, Brittany was 15 and Rodney was 19. And if Rodney will admit to telling the truth, this is what was said. They said that they was going to get him for a statutory rape if he didn't come to court and be a witness for Brittany. And said they'd never let him see Brittany again.
Your Honor, that is not true.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Brittany Manis says her boyfriend's stepmother, Jackie Kimbrell, burned her CDs.
Okay. On the CDs, you're going to get $210. Forget your mental anguish.
My bathing suit. Top, my bathing suit top and my picture, she still hasn't returned.
Do you have any of that stuff?
I have her bathing suit top, but she came in the house and got everything else.
No, ma'am, I did not go in their house.
Whatever. I don't have anything else in the complaint about anything else. You have a bathing suit top? Give her a bathing suit top. Okay. As far as your lawsuit, which seeks damages for mental anguish of $1,500 because you saw your CDs burn, you better go and wash out your mouth. And when you learn not to cuss at adults, then we'll talk about mental anguish. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They had a pretty good argument, and I went out to break it up, and like I said, they just kind of turned on us.
I don't care what they said to them or cussed or whatever. They're adults and they're children.
I just hope everybody can get along now.
And now the next case.
All parties on Trimble versus Maurer. Step forward, please.
41-year-old accountant Julie Trimble is suing her ex-boyfriend, 34-year-old handyman Jeffrey Maurer, for a series of unpaid loans to pay his bills.
All right, let's cut to the chase, Miss Trimble. You lived with this man for 3 years, according to your complaint, and say that over the course of the 3 years, he built up a debt to you for miscellaneous bills and expenses. He finally decided to leave sometime in October of this year. He gave you a check, packed his bags, and left.
Correct.
And now you went over all your bills, and you want him to pay a whole bunch of money that he hadn't paid over the 3 years you were living together.
Correct.
Did he ever sign a note to you?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Did he ever sign a lease with you?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Did you have a lease agreement with him, even though it wasn't in writing?
No, ma'am, I did not.
So what do you think he owes you for?
Over the course of 3 years, I just basically went back from last December. He was living with me. We were boyfriend and girlfriend, and he had agreed to pay a third of the rent and the utilities because it was myself, my daughter, and him living there. And he also had incurred a lot of personal expenses that he didn't have the means to pay at the time. So I loaned him money on just various things, paying for his utility bills at a house that he was refurbishing.
Well, what was the repayment agreement? If you say you made these loans to him, what was the repayment agreement?
That I would pay these bills for him and he would pay me as soon as he got back on his feet.
What if he never got back on his feet?
Well, his whole contention was that he was rebuilding this house of his and he was going to sell the house, and he also had a truck that he was trying to sell, and with those proceeds he was to reimburse me for all of these expenses. I have a ledger that I made up for him. I used to give him periodically, plus I have backup of all of the utilities, the groceries, all of the personal checks.
Ms. Trimble, we don't do that in court. If two people decide to live together without benefit of marriage, and then they break up, which they do more than 50% of the time, probably more than 80% of the time, and then come to courts and say, listen, we lived together for 3 years, we lived together for 10 years. During that time, I paid for this, and he was supposed to pay me back, and he never did, and that was 3 years ago or 5 years ago. If you expect courts to get involved with that, you're barking up the wrong court. I tell you that. Put your hand down. I didn't ask you anything.
Yes, sir.
Good. Women do this. It seems to be women do it a lot more often than men. Women say, I'll take care of him. He promised as soon as his uncle straightens out, he's going to give you the money. As soon as he puts his life in order. As soon as he gets the house built. As soon as he sells the truck. Some people never get their lives in order, Miss Trimble.
Right. Well,
and he did give you a check when he left.
Yes, he did.
And in what amount was that check?
That check was for $2,200.
He said it was $2,800. You have the check?
Yes, I have the check here, and
I'd
yes,
like to see it.
I was mistaken. It is $2,200.
Can I see it, please?
And also 2 other checks that I gave her within weeks of leaving anyway. So I actually gave her over $3,000.
Who crossed out paid in full?
I did, when I cashed the check.
No, you can't do that, Miss Trimble.
He hadn't paid me in full.
No, Miss Trimble, you can't do that, madam. What you are alleging is that over the course of 3 years, you advanced money to this man.
Correct.
And he gave you a check at the time you terminated your living arrangement, and he had written on the check, loan payoff paid in full. You accepted the check, and then you cashed it. If you choose not to accept this check as full payment of all loans, you don't cash it. Give it back to him.
Well,
and let me finish. Okay. And you say to him, I'm not accepting this check. Give me another check that just says partial payment on loans, and then we have an agreement that this was partial payment on the loan. But you cannot take a check and change the face of the check and cash it and say he still owes me more money. You can't do that.
Well, at the time that he had given me that check, he left it laying on my table, moved out, and I had no way to get a hold of him. So my only best interest was to go there, cash the check at his bank the next morning when they opened, so I would at least be guaranteed part of the money that he owed me.
And that's what you were guaranteed, and that's what you're going to get. Period. Who are you?
I'm a friend of hers.
You know anything about the law?
No, I don't.
Good.
But I'd like to add something, Your Honor.
About
You're
what?
saying the loan. Rent and
just a
utilities
sec.
are not loans.
Thank you very much. I didn't ask for an instruction in the law. The law is that you accept a check in full payment of all outstanding loans, and you've accepted that check. You cannot change that check and say, it's not all that you owe me. Now you owe me more. So, Ms. Trimble, be smarter the next time. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The man got in trouble.
Versus Rodriguez. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Ms. Funting, according to what I read, there was a poker game that was going on in your home?
Correct.
And the defendant was one of the participants in the game. There was some sort of a disagreement as to who had the winning hand. Defendant lost, and you claimed that in a tiff, when he left, he damaged your car. He says he didn't do it. How do you know him?
He is just a friend of a friend, and he was invited to my house by our mutual friend.
Do you have a regular poker game that goes on in your house?
No, it was just for fun.
How many people were there?
6.
Men or women?
There were 2 women and 4 men.
How many of the men did you know?
3 of them.
He was the only one you didn't know?
Correct.
What about the other woman?
She's my witness, Tristan.
So tell me what happened.
Well, it was August 27th, 2004, and we just had a gathering at my house of friends, and he came with our friend Robert, and I had no reservations about it. I was okay with that. And I think he had been drinking before he came over, but I still wasn't really concerned. He decided to participate in our game, and it had gone on for a good couple hours with no problems. We were all just hanging out having fun, no problems at all. And then when he had thought he won a hand and there was some questions about it, he kind of got defensive and aggressive when we tried to tell him otherwise. And he got angry at us, and he started calling names and pushing people and getting up and getting violent.
So what happened next?
Well, we tried to break it up. He tried to fight my boyfriend. He was calling names. He picked up a bike and actually threw it across the deck and bruised my friend's arm. I have a picture.
Did you do that?
No, ma'am.
Why would she make up such a story?
Oh, no. I can't
Did you
really
lose a hand in
speculate.
poker?
No, ma'am. I still remember the hand.
Well, was there some sort of a dispute as to whether you won?
Yes, ma'am.
So you won the game,
Yes, ma'am.
and then they told you you lost the game and couldn't take the money.
Actually, her boyfriend had agreed that I won, and then she jumped in the middle, tried to read his cards, said, no, you won, look at your hand. He looked, and then he agreed, tried to take the money. But he already called the wrong hand. He called a hand lower than mine. I started taking the money down. He kept trying to argue with me. She kept jumping in the middle. I admit I did call her, but it wasn't really directed towards her. It was like, I don't want to hear what any have to say when 2 men are playing a game. It's our money, it's our game. No one else is in the game.
The women weren't playing?
No, they already lost.
Sorry.
They already lost all their money. So there's only 3
But the
people
women
left.
had been playing,
Yes, ma'am.
and you did play with the women.
Yes, ma'am.
So it wasn't as if you don't want to play with women, that it wasn't
Oh,
just a
no.
man's game.
No, we were all playing. They lost. There were 3 of us left.
And nothing happened with the bicycle.
No, there was a bike in the way, but I was getting pulled out of their house, and I bumped into a bike. I never picked a bike up, threw it, or anything like that.
Okay, then according to you, Miss Hunting, Mr. Rodriguez damaged your car when he left. How did he damage your car?
He damaged 2 vehicles. He was inside, and it took a good 15 minutes to get him calmed down. We were trying to calm him down. He wouldn't calm down, so he was physically removed from my house.
How was he physically removed?
By our friend Robert.
Is that right?
Yeah, he escorted me out of the house.
He pulled you out?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't want to leave?
No, her boyfriend had tried to start a fight with me, so I stood up. We were going to fight, and he didn't want to fight, and then her mom came in, said we're going to call the police. Told her to call the police, you know. They're trying to rob me of my money.
So you still felt as if you were owed that money
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
pot. So you didn't want to leave without your money.
No, ma'am.
So you were pulled out by Robert.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when you were pulled out, Mr. Rodriguez?
Well, he pulled me out, but right before the door closed, I said, look, you know, I'll leave, but I want my money, at least the money I put into the pot in the beginning. They went and got my money. He gave it to me. He walked to his car and got in and left.
Who walked to the car?
Me and Robert.
Robert was the one who had brought you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was a friend of yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he still a friend of yours?
Yeah.
See him?
Yeah. He lives on the same street, so yeah, we see
Good.
each other.
And you claim that he damaged cars when he left. You have any witness? Did you see him do that?
I actually have Robert here as a witness.
Really? Bring him in. And Robert is your friend.
Yes, ma'am.
So Robert wouldn't lie for her.
I can't speak on that. He's intimate with her friends, so a lot of people do a lot of things when they're with somebody.
I don't think that's important.
Swear the witness, please.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth in these matters?
Yes, I do.
State your name for the record, please.
Robert Silva.
Mr. Silva, Mr. Rodriguez says that you're a friend of his. Is that right?
That's correct.
How long have you known him?
About 15, 16 years.
You invited him to a party on the 27th of August at Miss Hunting's home. Is that right?
Yes.
You were playing poker?
Yes.
Then there was some sort of a dispute over a winning hand. We're getting past that. Did you see an incident involving Mr. Rodriguez and a bicycle?
No.
Didn't see him pick up or toss a bicycle?
No.
Did you remove him from the house?
We walked out together.
You didn't pull him out of the house?
Pull, no. He wasn't done talking, and I think we were done talking, so I said it was time to go.
Now, when he left the house, can you describe what happened, sir?
I told him to leave, and I went to go close the door.
Look at me when you're talking.
And on the way out, I seen him kick Amber's car on the way out.
How many cars did you see him kick?
I only seen him kick Amber's car.
Did you say anything to him when you finally caught up to him?
No.
You didn't say, why did you kick Amber's car?
It's too late. It doesn't matter why. I couldn't stop it.
Oh, no. That's their witness. They say
That's their witness, sir, but you're a friend
kicked-
for 17 years.
Oh, yes, ma'am. But it just seems fugazi to me because...
What?
It seems a little funny to me because they said I threw a bicycle. He didn't see it.
No,
They
he
say
didn't
I
see
kicked
that.
2 cars, and he only seen me kick 1. Oh, no. The story seems wrong.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Just want to make sure that you think I'm fair. Not that it's really important to me what you think, but I want you to start doing a little thinking.
And later today,
Were you annoyed that she went back to her husband?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then if you weren't annoyed, why don't you do the right thing?
Yes, you say lack of communication.
Lack of character is more like it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amber Hunting says acquaintance Daniel Rodriguez vandalized 2 of her cars after an argument over a poker game. Amber has produced a surprise eyewitness.
Did you call the police immediately?
As soon as I saw the damage to the vehicles, I went inside.
Was
and
that the
called
same
police.
day, the 27th of August?
Yes.
Can I see the police report, please? How old are you, Miss Hunting?
21.
You live at home with your folks?
With my mother.
And this is your mom?
Yes.
Who, if I called her as a witness, would testify about a lot of bad language that she heard, and she said she was going to call the police, correct?
Correct.
You have photographs of the vehicles?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see them, please. Well, the detective who responded saw the following, Mr. Rodriguez. He saw the damage to the cars. The issue is really, was this old damage, new damage? But let me tell you what the police officer wrote. Second vehicle, 1997 Ford Escort, belonged to Amber's mother, Doreen Hunting. I noticed a circular dent near the driver's side door and chipped paint around the dent. I located several pieces of the chipped paint on the ground, directly below the dent on the door. So you know what that suggests to me, Mr. Rodriguez?
New damage?
Very smart. Now, who do you think had a motive to be angry that night?
I did.
And whose dear friend who invited them to this party says it was you who caused the damage?
Mine.
Mr. Rodriguez, if you were sitting in my place, would you think that I caused the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Just want to make sure that you think I'm fair.
But
Not
I'd
that it's
also would
not
think
that it's
that-
really important to me what you think, but I want you to start doing a little thinking. What are the estimates to fix these two dents?
$1,893.
Together.
Yes.
That's a bargain. So not only didn't you win, sir, at poker that night, but your temper is going to cost you $1,893. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was drunkenness and nobody was really listening to each other, and emotions run high when drinking is involved.
There were a bunch of people playing a game of poker who were too drunk to know how to really play.
It wasn't that big of a deal until my vehicles were damaged.
They were talking, we want to call the police, want to fight.
He was my friend's friend. I didn't think it was necessary. I had hoped that he would calm down.
Told him to call the police. I thought it was a good idea.
I just wanted to handle it right and take care of it, but he denied it.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's no big deal, you know. I've known him 15 years. It's just one night.
Thank you for showing up and taking care of everything, and I'm glad everything's over with.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kerr versus Guthrie. Step forward, please.
26-year-old account manager Lisa Kerr is suing her ex-boyfriend, Private Eye Gary Guthrie, for a loan to buy a spy cell phone. Gary says the spy equipment was a gift.
Ms. Kerr, who is this?
This is my witness, my friend Lindsay.
Mr. Guthrie, who is this?
This is my brother Adam in witness.
This is the situation as I understand it. You and Mr. Guthrie dated briefly. Was it a time he was separated from your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
And for some strange reason, according to you, Mr. Guthrie, who needed some spy equipment, that's your business, you're in security, surveillance, and you agreed to put it on your credit card, this piece of equipment that he saw that he liked. And you did. According to you, he said he was going to pay for it. The piece of equipment came, you and Mr. Guthrie no longer an item. Mr. Guthrie says that the spy equipment doesn't work.
Correct.
So he's not paying for it, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If it worked, were you going to pay for it?
Well,
Well is not an answer, Mr. Guthrie.
Well, I
If it
assumed
worked,
it was-
listen to me very carefully, sir. If it worked, were you going to pay for it? Just a second. The questions get harder. What's your first name?
Gary.
Gary? Listen to me, Gary. Try not to play with me, sir, otherwise you're going to look like an idiot. If it worked, were you going to pay for it?
Yes, Your Honor.
That wasn't hard, was it, Gary?
No.
Did you actually think you were going to come here and make a fool out of me?
No.
So it didn't work. And you told the plaintiff it didn't work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so the company said, send it back to us, and while you're not going to get your money back, you can buy additional merchandise.
Or switch it out for another one that might work if it
Or
came.
switch it out.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understood that, right, Gary?
Yes, Your Honor.
See how mellow Gary is getting now? Gary gets it now. Because in Gary's answer, he thought he was being a wise guy, and he told me first it was a gift from her, that she bought him a gift. And then she changed her mind because she went back to her husband and they got this big bill, and that's why she's probably coming after him. That didn't ring true to me. So that's why I asked Gary if he was intending to pay her back for it if it worked. You understand, Gary? Then you bring along genius with you over here. Because the idea was, according to you, and you agree, that you were told to pack up the old equipment and send it back to the company. And you brought her over the box.
No, I didn't actually bring the box.
How did she get the box?
Through my brother.
He brought her the box.
Yes,
And she paid for sending it back.
that's correct.
Not you. She paid for sending it back. Now, genius, you can stand up.
Lisa Kerr says ex-boyfriend Gary Guthrie owes for a loan to buy a spy phone. Gary claims the phone was broken and he tried to return it.
You got a first name?
Adam.
You didn't pack up the spy equipment, did you, Adam?
I was told
Is not an answer.
I did pack up the equipment,
You did.
but I grabbed the wrong device, apparently.
What does that mean, genius?
When I gave it to Lisa and she'd shipped it off, they told her it was the wrong device. But I did not know because my brother was out of town. It was a phone call that told me to pack up the device.
What did you tell your brother to do?
I told him to grab my cell phone and pack it up to get to her.
Your cell phone. Well, that's not a spy piece of equipment that costs $3,400.
Well, if you've seen my other cell phones, you'd understand that I have a lot of cell phones and all my cell phones are pretty high tech.
I somehow think, Adam, that this was a little scammy-whammy that was going on here, kids. You sent back the wrong thing. Did you send back the wrong thing?
Yes, by accident.
Ultimately, you found the device and it had not been sent back, right?
Correct.
When you found the device that had not been sent back, what was the first thing you did?
Well, I told her I obviously
So the first thing you did was call her.
I tried to attempt to. I wasn't able to get in touch with her.
So you did call her.
Yes, once I found out it was the wrong device.
Well, then I want to know, what date did you find out it was the wrong device?
Mid-December, somewhere in the middle of December.
And when did you find out that they didn't receive the device?
It was right around December the 18th or 20th.
And when did Mr. Guthrie call you?
I actually never spoke with him about that until I had left to go on Christmas vacation, and I ended up breaking my leg. So I was out of commission for a few months, and I finally got a hold of him again in March.
So between December, when he found out that he did not give you the right piece of equipment, and March, are you telling me he never called you?
Not that I spoke with him, and not a message that I got from him, no.
So he never called?
No, ma'am.
As far as you know, he never called?
Right.
What did you do with the piece of equipment, Gary?
Well, come mid-April, we were fishing, and I was trying to get the device to work, which is the whole issue, how it didn't work. And out of frustration, it actually ended up in the lake.
So, Gary, who do you think ought to pay for this piece of equipment?
Well, my assumption, seeing that she didn't call me back for that period of time.
Didn't call you back. Did you send her a letter?
I didn't send a certified letter, Your Honor, no.
Did you send her back the piece of equipment and say, I'm sorry, my idiot brother made a mistake? The answer is no. The answer is you took the piece of equipment and you threw it in the lake. It's according to you. I don't know whether I believe you or not, but that's according to you. When did you throw it in the lake, Gary?
Let's see, April, mid-April.
So you could have done a lot of things. The first thing that you could have done was try her once on the phone, if I believed that. You couldn't get her in. So you packed the piece of equipment up and say, I'm sorry, this was a big mistake. That's in December. I'm going to bear the burden of sending it back to the company. I don't want you to send it back for another $70 because my brother doesn't know whether he's a foot or horseback. Right? You chose not to do that, Gary. Were you annoyed that she went back to her husband? Huh?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then if you weren't annoyed that she went back to her husband, why don't you do the right thing?
Guess you'd say lack of communication.
Lack of character is more like it. How much was it?
The original purchase was $3,035. The other items that he chose to replace it came to an additional $223. They wouldn't send me a return authorization.
Just a second, you mean you bought other stuff, Gary? Gary! Did you buy other stuff? You bought another $223 worth of stuff?
I was trying to exchange, yes.
You were trying to exchange it for the wrong piece of equipment that your brother sent back.
Something that actually worked.
Just a second. You bought some other stuff despite the fact that your brother sent back a bad cell phone instead of this piece of spy equipment.
I wasn't aware that he'd done that, Your Honor.
Well, did you send back the other stuff that you purchased for $223?
I never received it.
We never received it because we had to give them the list of the items that we wanted in replace of it. After we gave them that list, they gave us the return authorization. Once they received the phone, they were going to send the items. Well, they never received the phone.
So they never sent the items. Why, then you shouldn't be charged for them.
But I have the email where it says we have to charge your card prior to even giving you the return
Then you have
authorization.
to call them and say you never sent those items. Do you understand? I'm not charging them for those. That you take up with the company. They never sent you the merchandise. They can't charge you.
I have done that. It's a company in Thailand. It's really the only way I can communicate with them is through email.
Well, then I would suggest that you be smarter next time and not deal with a company in Thailand and not deal with Gary.
Understood.
And his brother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of...
Yeah, this is case number 232 on the calendar in the matter of Webster versus Matos.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, Miss Webster, according to what I've read, you lived with the defendant. It was an arrangement where you would live there for a short period of time, and according to you, pay her $75 a week in rent. You were going to move in there with your fiancé?
Correct.
On what date did you move in? Maybe he knows. Stand up.
Can you please stand up?
Tell me your last name, sir.
Botano.
All right, so on what date did you move in? June 1st?
June 1st.
And just to put this in reference, and what date did you ultimately move out?
The end of July. It was the very end of July. Do you know the exact
Do you know the
date?
date?
That we moved? Yes, they stayed 2 weeks, Your Honor.
They say they moved in on June 1st.
They did not move in June 1st.
When did they move in?
They moved in maybe the 15th, 16th,
What do you mean,
June.
maybe, June, maybe the 15th? Do you
Well-
remember on what day they moved in?
Yes, June 16th.
Now you're sure?
I'm sure, positive.
And on what date did they vacate?
Excuse me?
What date did they vacate?
2 weeks after that date.
So, according to you, approximately July 1st.
Yes, it is.
According to your complaints, you moved in, you paid your $75 a week while you were there. In addition, when you moved into the defendant's apartment or home, she had no utilities, no gas, no electric, no hot water, or anything else. They'd all been shut off. You put them on in your name. Is that correct?
Yes.
There came a time when there was a falling out or something, and you were told to leave, and you left. You want your utility money back, as well as certain property.
Exactly. Could I explain a little bit about the falling out? I had found out she was on Section 8 in Massachusetts. That's free housing, and she did not have her 4 children in her custody living with her. At the time, I did not know she was not paying any rent for herself. Her only means of income was the $75 we were paying when the house had become infested with cockroaches, infested. And therefore, I couldn't live in those conditions and said that I would like to move out within a week. I told her on a Monday, or no, actually, yeah, on a Monday. And she had said she had left with my ex-husband, that's who she's dating, left with him and came back. She became outraged. She said she wanted her key now, and I explained, we're paid up until the end. You know, I need to make the arrangements.
Until the end
to
of
move.
what?
The end of the week. The end of that week, that following week. She said, I want my key now, and I said, well, you'll get your key. She left. Approximately half an hour later, she called, said, you have a half an hour to get all your belongings out of the house. I'm coming with the police. Now, Your Honor, I had just had major surgery on the 17th, where they removed 3 discs from my neck, July 17th. So during this time, I was very disabled.
You were in the house after the surgery?
Yes, I was. I have the paperwork.
Let me see it.
And this is also a letter from the landlord stating that I resided there, even though she was the only adult on the list, on the lease of the house.
Go ahead. So, talk to me.
The reason how we found out she was on Section 8.
I don't want to know how you found out she was
Then what
on
do you-
Section 8.
of the
Right now, we're
surgery.
at a point where she says she's coming back in a half hour with the police.
With the police. The police showed up and asked her, do they pay you rent? She said yes. They said, we cannot have them leave. She said, oh, no, they don't pay me rent. They said, excuse me, miss, you just said they did. The reason why, that's a copy, she had ripped the papers out of my hand, the one with the landlord, so to ruin the evidence that I did have at the time.
Okay.
And the police had left, and the next morning, we had moved out everything that we had. We left a lot of the belongings because of the infested cockroaches that you could see everywhere.
All right. Well, so far, we've just taken care of part of your lawsuit. You
Okay.
moved out the next morning. You took everything that you wanted. You
Oh, I
didn't want to
wanted to
take
take
other stuff because it was infested with cockroaches.
Correct.
You say you want the return of valuable personal property. What valuable personal property? Tell me.
I'll tell you. A 25-inch colored cable-ready TV.
Well,
The
just
box-
a second. Why didn't you take that?
Because the roaches got inside the television. They go into electronic. It's the first that I've heard. They go into electronics to keep warm. Electrical appliances. They go into that.
So you don't want the TV back?
No, I want some of the cost of it.
Forget it. You moved the television in there.
There was no cockroaches there at that time. She's a pig. That's why she
Then
lives.
you shouldn't have moved in there.
We did not know.
Just a second. You should have had some clue when you move into somebody's apartment and they have no gas, electricity, or hot water. You should have a
felt sorry
clue.
for her.
She's not paying for a new TV for you. You had an opportunity to take your TV. She didn't withhold it from you. You decided to leave it there because there were bugs in it.
I'm not asking for the value of the whole TV.
Oh, you
Just a
can't have
portion.
value of any TV. You can't have value of any property that you voluntarily elected to leave in the premises because you felt that they were bug infected.
Well, what we had done was brought a lot of the property outside. My husband's sister lives upstairs.
So?
And we figured if we had left it out, maybe the cold air or whatever, cockroaches, I guess, do not like cold air.
So?
And would leave. And when we had gone back, all this was gone. All our belongings were gone.
Just a second. They were gone.
They were smashed. They weren't gone, they were smashed up.
So let's say they were smashed up. You put him outside.
Yeah?
And we had somebody watching over it.
Yeah? Who did you have watching over it?
My sister. She just said that.
And how long did you leave it outside?
Hour?
You mean you were leaving it outside for an hour and you were coming back for it?
Yes.
You know, you're making up these stories as you're going along. It all sounds
you.
very, very good to me. Thank
you. No.
Do I look like I need help? You just told me that you left the stuff there, you weren't taking it because it was full of bugs. You don't get any property back. You decided to leave. If you decided to leave, you should have taken your television set, everything else that you had, taken it with you in a car and put it out someplace else where you were going, not leave it out in front of her house.
My sister's house, too. It ain't just her house.
So?
So what? So what? You
So
keep
what?
saying
That's
so
what I'm saying to you. So what?
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Now, bottom line is, they didn't live with you until the 1st of July or the 16th of July. According to the landlord, they lived with you at least until July 28th. You may...
Here, I have that they were not on the lease. I let them...
I don't care whether they were on the lease or not. That's not the question,
but
Ms. Matos.
I know that, Your Honor, but I'm coming to my point. Out of the kindness of my heart, they got evicted out of their home.
Untrue. Stop. Listen to me. I don't want kindness of your heart.
All right.
Kindness of your heart, you don't charge them $75
I did
in
not
rent.
charge them. I have not accepted any money from them.
Just a second.
Please,
Just a second.
please.
That I don't believe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Lorraine is unable to read or write.
So how could she have
A driver's license.
to own a car?
She doesn't probably even own this car. It's not a registered car. She just drives around and hopes for the best.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Webster says former friend Lorraine Matos owes her for utility bill deposits and the return of personal property. Lorraine says Jennifer owes her for smashing out her van windows.
You just don't want
Yes, I
Section
did.
8.
Look in it.
I'm speaking. You just don't want Section 8 housing to know that you were charging them for rent. Don't give me
No,
baloney.
that's
I've been
not true,
around
Your
the
Honor.
block longer than you have, madam.
Get this stuff.
All right, let's get to it. Utility bills. You pay the utility bills?
I haven't had the funds to pay the utility
Let me
bills
see
at
the
time.
utility bills.
She would like to call the party line to get dates on a constant basis using my telephone. I can quote words that she used.
Okay. The amount due on this bill is $47. The
Your
total
Honor,
electrical charges were $94.
that they transferred from their old apartment, ma'am. Both of them, phone and electric. They transferred to my apartment from their old apartment. Those bills were already on there.
You can't transfer until
Yes,
you
you
pay
can.
them. Oh. Was your age
She
serious?
transferred her electricity from her old resident to my resident.
Did you have electric on when they moved in?
No, I didn't. She transferred from
Did you have electric on when they moved in?
No, I didn't.
All right. Did you have a phone on when they moved in?
Yes, I did.
You did? You had
I
a phone
my own
connected?
phone. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I had my own phone number. Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And it was on?
Yes, it was on when they moved in, Your Honor.
When we moved
And it got
it was shut off.
turned off within
No.
5 or 6 days.
No, Your
It's
Honor.
a very easy phone call for me to make, Miss Matos. Don't
It
make
was
me
not
embarrassed.
turned on. Your
Listen,
Honor.
I'm speaking. Let me finish my question.
Okay, and then I will answer it, ma'am.
Pay careful attention to my question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did there come a time
Yes.
between the 1st of June
Mm-hmm.
and the last of July
Yes.
when the phone
Yes.
that was in your apartment,
Yes.
in your name,
Yes.
was not working?
Yes. Your Honor, may I say something?
No.
Okay.
You were trying to scam a little bit, Miss Matos.
I'm not scamming nothing. I'm
Sure
trying
you
to-
were. You
I'm
were.
trying
Sure
to
you
show
were.
you I
You
can't
sure you
put
were.
my electricity on for a month.
Let me explain something to you. You want to know why you were trying to scam a little bit, madam?
Why was I trying to scam a little?
Very easy, because the people of the state of Massachusetts were paying your rent and you were getting money from them.
I did not receive any money.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Well,
Free housing.
Yes, you did.
Where's
No
the
question
receipts?
in my
Where's
mind
the
that you did.
receipts
Let's
that
get
I
to your
received any
counterclaim.
money?
You say that when you returned,
To my home.
I'm speaking, that when you returned to your home, you found the window to your van damaged.
I have it all on videotape.
What do you have on videotape?
Every damage that they did to my home the day after they
Wait a minute.
left, and to my minivan.
Listen to me very
Yes,
carefully.
ma'am.
Put your hand down.
Okay.
And an estimate. Sorry.
What kind of minivan do you have?
I have a Dodge Caravan.
What year?
89.
Have insurance on it?
Nope, it was parked in my private yard.
So the answer is you do not have insurance on it.
Nope, but it was parked in my yard. No, I don't have insurance on it, Your Honor.
Is the car registered?
No, it was not registered.
What do you use the car for?
I was using the car until I got my license back so me and my 4 children can enjoy it.
The 4 children were not living in the premises.
That is none of your concern, Jennifer.
I got the whole picture. Listen, I want to tell you something. I don't know about your history because it seems to me you're lacking brains, the two of you, and moving in with somebody.
Excuse me?
They sure are.
That's exactly what I said. You're lacking brains
Yeah,
and moving
for
into
moving
with
in.
somebody,
Exactly, you are
somebody
correct.
who
I believe
doesn't have
that.
custody of their. I'm speaking. Doesn't have custody of their 4 children. Has no gas. Has no electric. Has no hot water. Right? Has cockroaches in their house all over the place. Moving your stuff in there. I'm not getting into all that in any event, and I don't want to see your video. I have no interest in seeing your video.
Oh, yeah.
Damage to your van window.
Yes.
You claim that the defendants did it.
Yes.
I would like to know what proof you have that the defendants damaged your van.
Because when I come back when I called the officer for them to leave that day, my house was fine, my car was fine. There is no reason for me to damage my own apartment. I live in that home. And second of all, when I came back the next morning, my house was damaged, my car was damaged.
So that's
Richie and Jennifer Votano had called my fiance's house numerous times saying, oh, try to get in your house, try driving your car. How does the damage feel in your home?
Really?
Yes. My
Step
fiance's
up
right
here.
here. Came to my fiance.
Shh.
Okay.
What's your last name?
Webster.
Okay. You're her former husband?
That's correct.
I introduced them.
I don't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They made about 12 to 14 phone calls, like just, yelling, screaming. Richard was threatening and bodily harm.
Threaten you, little girl.
Do you want to stay here?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Webster claims Lorraine Matos owes her for utility bill deposits and the return of personal property.
Did you receive a phone call from your former wife
we
after
received-
they moved out?
Yes, we received the night of, the night that they decided to move out of the premises of the street. Me and Lorraine went back to my house, and they made about 12 to 14 phone calls, like just, yelling, screaming, I can't believe you come over here with the cops and this and that, and, threatening, they're gonna, Richard was threatening and bodily harm. She was Jennifer was threatening bodily harm, and then when, that was about 11 o'clock that night.
I didn't
then
threaten you,
then,
little girl.
Then,
Just a minute.
I didn't
Do you
threaten
want to
him.
stay here? Do you want to stay here?
Yes.
Then me and my roommate, I had a roommate at the time, we went by the apartment and picked up, her iguana, because she had an iguana there, and so we picked that up and we went back to the house, and to where my premises, where I was residing, and then that was around 11:30 that night. So when we come back the next morning, it was me and her went back to the street the next morning at around, I'd say around 11:45. All the damage to the caravan and like a lot of damage to the.
Tell me what damage
All right, there was
to the caravan.
There was the front windshield, the front, the front end of the car was all smashed in, and the passenger side windshield.
When you came back to the house,
Yeah.
they had already moved out.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
How did you get into the house?
I had to take I went into my trunk and I had to take a razor because I had one of those razor blades and everything like that, and I put it inside the lock. Removed the key. I had 2 of them. I removed the key that was broken, the lock out of there, and then she had another key, and we opened up the door.
Now, did you call in any sort of a police report with regard to the damage?
No, but I received that day when we were downstairs. Like he previously said before, his sister lives upstairs, and she come downstairs and she said, my brother wants to talk to you, and he started saying that if you report this to the police or anything like that, then I'm going to bring my brother, I'm going to bring my friends and everything. He's like, that is the God's honest truth.
So you did not report that to the police?
No, I was scared. Man.
Okay, now you want to show me a piece of paper?
Yes, I do. It says her claim on 8-2.
Just a second.
Smashed.
I can read.
Okay.
I just changed my mind.
And,
I just changed my mind.
Your Honor?
I really would like to look at this video that they have. Okay?
Your Honor?
What?
That's my husband's handwriting. Lorraine is unable to read or write.
Nope, that's our handwriting.
So what?
So how could she have
A driver's
license
license.
to own a car?
Just a
didn't
second.
know.
She doesn't have a driver's license.
You need a driver's license.
She doesn't have a a driver's license.
You need
Right?
That's right.
You need one to own a car in Massachusetts.
Just a second. She doesn't probably even own this car. It's not a registered car. She just drives around and hopes for the best. Okay. I'm ready. That's dated August 19th.
That the clock is
Isn't she still electricity?
Where'd you get the video camera?
borrowed off my brother.
You borrowed it from your brother. Is your brother a stand-up guy?
Yeah,
Nice guy?
yeah. Twin brother, yeah.
Right? Any reason why he would have the date of August 19th, 2000 on that video?
We didn't know the date we had to change or anything. We just...
Doesn't have to change. It goes automatically.
He doesn't ever use it. You know what I mean? It's like I don't.
You mean it just jumps ahead a month?
No, you gotta set
Just
the
a
date.
second.
No, it doesn't jump ahead a month. That's not the date that I videotaped it on.
Well, how do I know that? That's what it says.
Oh, but I'm just going by my word.
Probably damaged the truck.
Thank you.
It's a hothead. Probably a little psychotic besides. Strike that. Definitely a little psychotic. You have to have more proof than that, than the opportunity and the inclination to cause damage. Aside from the fact that the only evidence that you produce here today, sir, indicates that the damage was done on or about the 19th of August, approximately 6 weeks after you say they moved out. I believe you. You say they moved out July 1st.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, but that's what you say. So if they moved out July 1st, you hung around with this glass in your stove,
No, I
and with,
didn't.
I'm speaking, glass in your stove and all the schmutz in your house for 7 weeks. You are entitled to $100 for one half of the utility bills while you were
Thank
there.
you.
You are entitled to nothing.
Thank you.
That's all.
Parties are Excel versus Thomas. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Parcell, what kind of work do you do?
I own a tanning salon
Where?
in Bend, Oregon.
According to your complaint, the defendant owes you expenses for a trip that you took her on, some kind of a conference. Where was the conference?
It was a trade show in Las Vegas.
How did you know her?
She had been a client at my salon. Also, one of my friends was her boss at her job up there in Oregon.
So tell me how it came about that you invited her on this trip.
Last April of 1999, I had purchased originally 6 tickets. And about a month before leaving, I had talked to Amber about the trade show and what was going on. And she seemed really interested and she wanted to go.
What kind of trade show was it?
Indoor tanning.
Go ahead.
And she said she really wanted to go, so I said, well, look, I got the tickets.
What
used
kind of tickets were these?
airline tickets, trade show tickets.
Go ahead.
So anyways, after I told her the expenses, she said...
What expenses did you tell her?
I told her approximately the airfare was going to be about $135 round trip. I said we could upgrade up to first class for $40 each way, and she liked the idea of that.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyways, after I told her the expenses, she said she wanted to go. I said, well...
That was the expense you told her, the airline
Well, no,
ticket.
the airline, half the hotel, which approximately be about $150. The car rental, which also split in half, about $150.
So she was going to go with you, not with the other 6 people.
She and I, there's actually 4 people that went. We got 2 different cars. Amber and myself split 1 car, and we split 1 hotel room.
So you stayed in the hotel room with Amber.
Yeah, there was 2 beds in the room.
Okay. And what was the hotel room?
$270, $281. Was
the entire cost?
The entire cost.
Well, what was half the cost?
You have a calculator? It's $270, $281 divided by 2.
136.
Thank you. 136. And $150 for the car rental. Is that her?
No,
Is that half
actual-
of it or the whole thing?
No, actually, the car rental came to a total of $137.40 divided in half.
What other expenses did you tell her?
The trade show, the tickets cost $79 per person, and I have an itinerary of what was included in that, as far as the seminars and the private parties and
Okay. What else?
food and beverage.
You didn't tell her about food and beverage.
Well,
Mr. Parcell.
Originally, I told her, bring your money for the food and beverage. You know, she could pay herself, but
Fine.
she didn't
All
bring
right,
any
so-
money with her.
Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Gasoline for the car and the tipping of the valet for her parking and bringing her bags up to her room.
Mr. Parcell, you didn't tell her about those things.
No, I told her.
Okay. You told her, if I believe you, that she was be responsible for $172 for the airfare, $136 for half the room, $68 for the car, and the trade show tickets was $79.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you told her, maybe.
That was the basic expenses. Who knows what food and everything's going to cost?
Right. So you went to the trade show with her. Did she give you any money for these things?
She says she could give me the money within 2 weeks of when we left. That time came. She had subsequently gotten fired or left her job that she was working at, and she came in and told me. And at that time, I was stuck with the tickets. And I said, well, do you have any job prospects? She said, yeah. When I get back, I have 3 possibilities. One's at a bed and breakfast, one's at a, I believe, a piercing studio, and another one at a ice cream parlor.
Okay.
And she said that she'd be able to pay me back within 2 or 3 months from that time.
So you went to the show. You all went together.
Yeah.
And?
We had a great time. The whole week we were there, no problems, having fun. She never attended any of these seminars. She pretty much just drank and hung out at the pool and wanted to get marijuana the whole time.
So?
Well, you know, she kept on bugging me about it. Can you call your friends?
I'm not interested in that.
No. That's what her activities, you know, were down there.
And she never paid you any money?
Never paid me any money. Before we left, I said, look, if you go down there and you get the certification for indoor tanning, which is included in the package, you can work at my place a few days a week to help pay this off. But she never got the certification, and then when we got back, she had moved to Florida.
Okay, Ms. Thomas, let's hear from you.
First part of Bill's story was totally correct. We had met at the tanning salon, and Bill had told me about the trade show and whatnot, and was needing somebody to work in his salon because he had previously fired everybody else who would work for him. And he asked me if I would, go down there with him so I could learn more about the convention and about the industry, meet the people. So we went, and the only reason I had went with him is because it was under a strict understanding that this was supposed to be a tax write-off. Like he said, yes, I had just lost my job, but
just a second. Tell me about that. Tell me about strict understanding that it was a tax write-off.
He said that because there was 2 other girls who went, and they went to strip at a strip club, and so they were paying him back for the tickets that they had used, because they didn't go for the tanning show or trade show or anything that we were there for. Okay. Him and I went, and when I went with him before I met him in the salon, he had told me about this, said, this would be a good opportunity for you. It's going to be a tax write-off for me because the salon is able to just write this all off. So I figured, yeah, sounds great. It just happened to be during my birthday. Thought, perfect opportunity.
Stop playing with papers.
And so we went down there, and I went to the trade shows.
So what you're telling me, Ms. Thomas, is that there was absolutely no discussion of money.
Oh, besides food and alcohol. Yeah, I brought my own money for food.
That there was no discussion of money with him for the airline tickets, for the trade show, that you would reimburse him for any of this money, that you had lost your job, that you didn't have the money to give him before you went. That is not true.
Oh yeah, no, we had talked about the fact that I had lost my job, and that's why there would be no way that I'd be able to go on this trip, and that's when he brought up the fact that it was a tax write-off.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was sitting back at the bar talking trash on me, and then it got to the point where he would mad dog people that I would be talking to, getting really possessive and really weird.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Parcell says Amber Thomas owes for a trip to Las Vegas to attend a tanning salon trade show. Amber says William used the trip as a tax write-off.
So what you're saying, Ms. Thomas, is that he told you that you would not have to pay for the airline tickets, the car rental, the ticket to the trade show, that you would not be expected to reimburse him for that.
Correct.
What do you think caused him to change his mind?
We went down there, and like he said, at first everything was fine, and my witness can attest to this. She was around a lot of the time, and she was able to see this. First, like I said, everything was fine, and then it got to the point where he would mad dog people that I would be talking to, getting really possessive and really weird. We went to one party, and he was getting really upset that I wasn't going to go in there with him. And so he came over and was really upset. Well, why aren't you going in there with me? No. I said, well, Bill, if you want to go over there so bad, then you should just go. I'm right here. And Bill said, I don't know about you. Maybe it's easier for you just to walk up to people and talk to them. But it's not that easy for me. And that's when I said, well, Bill, is this the only reason you brought me here was for introductions so that I can introduce you to people? So, when we were at the shows, I just walk up, oh, hi, how you doing? And he said, well, basically, yeah. So that was the end of our conversation for that night. We went one more night, and we had gone to the trade show that day, and then that evening we went to Studio 54. Lots of people were there having a good time. I went and was dancing on the dance floor with some other people. Meanwhile, he was sitting back at the bar talking trash on me. Oh, look at Amber's over there dancing with all those people. That's a bad crowd. Those people are a bad crowd. You shouldn't be around. Talking terrible to the people that I know from about me. Oh, So anyways, at the end of that, he came up to me after the party was over. Well, if you need a ride back to the casino, then I'll give you one now. But I'm going gambling with these girls. By then, I was like, I don't really understand what's your problem here. We came down here as a strict understanding that we're friends. You're giving me attitude that I don't understand where it's coming from. And by that time, our conversation got quite a bit heated, and I asked him if he'd take me back to the casino now so that I could get my belongings out of his hotel room, which I did. It got so bad to the point where his attitude was so nasty, I couldn't be around him. 4:30 in the morning, got all my stuff out of the hotel, and I went and sat down in the lobby for about an hour. I was totally crying. Somebody came up to me, and they just happened to be leaving and gave me their hotel room so I could sleep a couple hours before my plane left the next day. And so we went to the trade show the next day. Bill was completely staying away from me, would not say a word to me, and, he was basically my only ride to the airport, so I had to beg him to give me a ride at the airport, and that was fine. That was the last words we had said were the night before. Bill has not said another word to me since then. I got back to Oregon. I was back in Oregon for 4 days when I went and moved to Florida. And now when I was in Florida, I had heard through people that he'd be calling there, asking questions about me, talking trash on me, and my friend George had to tell him, I'm not going to be able to talk to you anymore if you're not going to talk about business.
Mr. Parcell, I have a couple of questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
When was this trade show?
It's June 21st of 1999.
And when had you purchased these 6 tickets? 6 packages?
The first part of April.
You went, she went. Did 4 other people go with the 6 tickets that you bought?
Out of the 6 tickets, only 4 people went.
What happened with the other 2 tickets?
They didn't go. They lost out. They paid me the money that I paid for the tickets.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
If I can add on a couple things that she had mentioned earlier. The part about the tax write-off, she has to be an employee first before there's any partial of a tax write-off, so that's news to me why she's saying that. The Venetian
Sir, are you telling me that when you purchased tickets to the trade show at $79 a piece, you did not use your corporate account?
I use my American Express card.
Is that a corporate American Express? Take it out and take a look at it.
It is.
Of course it is. Which means at the end of the year, when your accountant looks over your expenses, you see you can't even keep a straight face. You see how hard it is? All right. So you understand that when you bought tickets to the trade show, that would be a business expense. But, Ms. Thomas, it's not that you don't pay the money. It's that you pay the money, but there is a certain tax advantage in using it as a business expense, which means maybe you pay, it costs you half. Mm-hmm. You don't get it for free. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If what you're telling me is that the reason he took you was because he was training you to be an employee.
To see if it was something that I was interested, see if I had knowledge on it.
Nope. Now I got a problem.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
William Parcell says Amber Thomas owes for a trip to a tanning salon trade show. Amber says William wanted to be repaid only after she turned down his sexual advances.
Okay. Very difficult to resolve this matter. You both make very, very convincing arguments, but...
Your Honor?
Yes.
I do have some tape evidence here.
That says?
It's Miss Thomas calling me.
It was after he had been harassing me in Florida for so long.
Does
this acknowledge a debt? Is that what it does?
No. Maybe not, no. But she has said earlier that I was possessive of her and everything, and this contradicts that whole thing because I've had no way to contact her.
What am I supposed to hear on this tape, sir? I'm only interested in hearing anything that is germane to this issue.
Well, She said earlier that I was possessive, that I needed to be with her somehow all time, that I needed her to help me introduce
we were
me
in
to people,
Vegas.
which is untrue. And I mean, I have no way to contact her, but yet she contacts me and starts swearing at me and acting all crazy on the tape.
That was after about 3 months of Bill calling and talking very bad
Ms.
things
Thomas,
about
let's
me.
start with this. You were not in a romantic relationship with the plaintiff. You knew him strictly from going to his tanning salon, right? Mm-hmm. Why would you think that he would give you as a gift and then upgrade your ticket to first class, a round-trip airline ticket to Las Vegas?
Because the rest of the people were sitting in first class. I would have been the only one sitting back in coach.
Just a second. That's not my question. Why do you think he would pay for your airline ticket to begin with?
Your Honor, I was completely under the assumption that because I was supposed to start working for his salon once I got back.
Well, did you?
No, we had a terrible time down there
Well, just
when we
one
ended.
second, that puts a different spin on it, Ms. Thomas. If what you're telling me is that you went there and he took you there, and the understanding between the two of you was that he would prepare you to work in the salon, and then you didn't, then you breached the agreement.
No.
If what you're telling me is that the reason he took you was because he was training you to be an employee.
To see if it was something that I would, go down there and see if that was something that I was interested, see if I had knowledge on it.
No. Now I got a problem. But Mr. Parcell, I also have a little bit of problem with some of your numbers, sir. Let me tell you what problem I have. I believe that she is absolutely responsible for the airfare, for her own airfare. And that airfare is $172. Let's see if I can work this thing, Bert. I'm going to try all by myself, okay?
Okay.
All right. 172. And I believe that you, sir, are responsible for her trade show ticket, because you took it as a write-off. Now, as far as your rental car was concerned, the other two people that went down with you, the girls that went down with you that you didn't see much, they were going to rent their own car.
I rented the car for them.
Or you rented the car
Yeah.
for them. There's no question in my mind that you were going to have your own car because you weren't all traveling together, right?
4 people, 2 different directions.
Right, so you're going to have your own car anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had people that I knew down there.
Listen to me. You were going to have your own car anyway, right?
Yes.
No. So the fact that she came with you and she rode with you, you didn't have any additional expense because she went there. I'm just talking about what she could reasonably expect to have to pay you for going down there.
Well, we talked about the car, the hotel, trade show tickets, and the airfare.
You had the hotel anyway, sir. Did you pay any extra for her at the hotel?
Yeah, there was charges for that I didn't use, services that I did not use.
Like what?
I have to look at it, but the phone calls, food that she had
I never
charged
made
to the
any
room.
phone calls. I had a phone card that I used at a payphone.
If you use the hotel phone, and you even use a
Downstairs
payphone.
at the hotel?
Just a second. Mr. Parcell, you have the hotel bill now? This would be interesting.
Yeah, I do. I have.
Show me the phone calls that you attribute to her. She says she used a phone card. There aren't a whole lot of phone calls on this. There's only one phone call,
Yeah.
long distance call, for $1. One for $1.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Parcell, you had no additional expenses because she shared the hotel room with you. You would have done that anyway. You had no additional expenses for the car that you rented. You would have rented a car anyway. The only additional expense that you had, because Ms. Thomas went, was the airline ticket. And I think she should be responsible to pay that back to you, because quite frankly, I don't think that there was a meeting of the minds that you had with regard to what the contractual arrangement was between you as far as her paying you back. I do believe that there was some sort of an agreement that you had that she would come back and she would work in your salon. She decided not to do that. She evidently didn't like your attitude, or something happened down there that she decided that this was not going to be her life's profession. That being the case, she should be at least responsible for your direct out-of-pocket expenses as a result of her going with you. As a result of her going with you. And your out-of-pocket expenses as a result of her going with you were $172. The rest of it, you would have paid for anyway. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step back. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Osland, you're really involved with this case. Is this your husband?
Yes, it is.
Your daughter had a baby. Is this
Yes,
your
ma'am.
first grandchild?
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, you bought a camcorder for her to record and memorialize the baby's first smile, coming home, and you loaned it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And she refuses to return it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I gather precipitated this bad blood between you and your daughter, I'm sure there's a lot more underneath,
Oh, yes.
is that at some point you went to a shopping mall to take pictures of the new baby, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And they took pictures of the new baby that was supposed to be your pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
And your daughter and you had some sort of a falling out. So she went to pick up the pictures. There was a fight, so now you want the pictures and you want the camcorder. Daughter says the camcorder was a gift, and I don't know what she says about the pictures.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay. When the baby was born, was everybody happy?
Yes. She invited me down to the delivery room, and I was in the delivery room.
Is that
with her
right?
And everything, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I did invite her.
So everything was okay. So the baby was born.
Yes, ma'am.
Boy or girl?
Little girl.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
Less than 24 hours.
So it was an easy delivery,
Very.
in and out? Or just out?
Quick.
Who took you home from the hospital?
My boyfriend did.
You're the boyfriend?
Yes.
And you live together with your boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any plans to get married?
Not right now.
Any reason?
Just not ready.
Ready to have a baby but not get married?
It wasn't planned.
But you are living together as a family.
Yes.
When did you buy the camcorder? Before or after the baby was born?
Before.
And when did you physically allow your daughter to have possession of the camcorder?
It was, let's see, a day after the baby was born. My sister had just had a baby, too, and then we all went to the hospital after she had her baby.
So you saw her in the hospital?
Yes.
And is that when you turned the camcorder over to her?
Yes.
She's lying. She gave it to me a week before the baby was born.
So let me hear your version of what happened.
Okay, we went to the hospital, me and my sister, to visit, and then I gave my daughter, that day I gave her a Harley Davidson outfit that my husband wanted the baby to wear.
Okay.
And the camcorder.
What did you say to her when you gave her the camcorder?
I told her, this is to film your baby with.
And that's what you said to her?
Yeah, I didn't say it was a gift.
You didn't say it was a gift?
No,
According
ma'am,
to
I
you, you
didn't.
didn't say it was a gift, and you didn't say, I'm loaning this to you. You said, I want you to use this to record the
Yes,
baby.
ma'am. Yes.
Now, according to you, let me hear your version of how the camcorder came into your possession.
I was on maternity leave. I went on maternity leave a week early from work, and I went over to visit, and they gave it to me in a little Harley-Davidson handle bag. And they said that it was a gift. It was supposed to be for Christmas, but since I was having a baby, they gave it to me early.
And did you record the baby?
No, we haven't.
Why not?
We've had many photo albums. We're using the
Okay, so
camera
you-
more often.
Okay. So, now you're going to take pictures of the baby. How old was the baby when you went to take the pictures at the mall?
Almost a month.
Tell me how that came about.
She wanted to take pictures. We went to the mall.
You went to a studio?
Yes,
in the mall.
JCPenney.
And you have to pay for those pictures?
Yes.
Did your mother pay for them?
She paid for them on her check card.
So it's clear that the pictures were for her, right?
The agreement was for both of us.
No.
Probably for both of you. Probably for both of you. But it was clear that the pictures were her idea. She paid for them.
Yes.
And she was going to pick them up.
Yes.
But you went to pick them up. Tell me why.
We had an argument about a week before the pictures were supposed to come in.
What was the argument about?
Me going down to Louisiana for Thanksgiving.
No. That's...
Just a minute. You... Yes?
She was mad that I was taking our daughter down to Louisiana to see his sister, and that she never gets to see the baby. And then I knew she wasn't going to give his family any of the pictures because she even said so. So I went and picked them up 2 days early, and I offered her the money.
What was the fight about?
It was about him not claiming her baby. He doesn't want to claim the baby because he doesn't think it's his.
I already have claimed the baby.
That's good.
No, I'm asking you what the fight was about. It wasn't about
That's-
Thanksgiving?
No, ma'am. It was about him claiming her baby. And she said since I didn't like Chris because he wouldn't claim the baby, then I can't see my grandchild. And I haven't seen her since.
You swore against her.
Let's deal with the pictures first. It was spiteful to go and have to pick up the pictures 2 days early.
Yes, I know it was.
Okay, and I think you understand that. And that precipitated, I want my camcorder back. Otherwise, if everything was going just fine, the camcorder would have remained with your daughter to take pictures of the baby because that's really what you bought it for.
Yes.
But when she didn't give you the pictures back, and then you got to the house and there was an altercation about the pictures, because then you went there, according to what
Yes,
I read.
I
and said,
did. And I got slapped in the mouth besides.
Give me the pictures, and that was terrible. How old are you?
21.
And you?
Almost.
23.
Other than this incident and the normal kind of things that you have with parents, especially that girls have with their mothers, you know, that's a very unique kind of relationship. It's very often this love-hate thing that goes back and forth as you're getting older. Usually it resolves itself when girls are about 30. So you have 9 years left.
Thanks.
But usually it resolves itself. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your mother. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your daughter.
Yeah, I know that.
And somehow daughters tend to stay angry.
Very.
Your mother was excited about your baby after she resigned the fact that you were having one.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Well, you asked her to be in the delivery room. She came. According to you, she bought you a camcorder. She was interested enough that she wanted to have pictures of the baby to show around, right?
Yes.
So she was involved.
After a while, yes.
Well, it takes some time, Julie.
She wanted me to abort it at first.
Julie, listen to me. She's got a 21, then maybe 20-year-old, beautiful daughter who is intelligent, with hopefully a bright future, who comes to her and says, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have this baby, I'm going to live with my boyfriend, we're not ready to commit to marriage, but we're going to live together. You think she should throw a party? No. Julie, I guarantee you, if your daughter comes to you and says the same thing, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be nuts. Because that's the natural thing. I mean, parents only want what's best for their kids. And certainly this baby at your age, being not married, is complicating your very young life. You don't expect your mother to be ecstatic about that.
No.
But ultimately, she came to accept it. You have the pictures of the baby?
Not with, no.
It's a very easy thing to make copies of those pictures. Have you done that?
No.
Will you do that?
For her?
Yes.
I don't want her having them.
Julie, you haven't heard anything that I said, darling.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I don't want the pictures. I just want the money. I want to be done with
Well,
this.
how much were the pictures?
They were $182.47.
You were absolutely entitled to the money for the pictures.
Yes,
I
I
think
want
that the
my
camcorder is a different story. I honestly believe that the camcorder was given to your daughter, and that the reason you now say you want it back is because of this terrible altercation with regard to these pictures and the fight that you had, which should have been over a long time ago. But Julie, you're still angry.
Yes, I am.
Get unangry.
I'm
Try to
more
get-
hurt.
Join the crowd.
Parent, listen to me. Parents aren't perfect. Doesn't mean that your mother loved you any less. She came around eventually, right?
Yes.
Came around.
It's been going on for 8 years now, though.
Practically since you became a teenager.
Yes.
Wait until your daughter turns 13.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know what, Your Honor?
Trust-
I can't wait.
Trust me. You'll see your daughter doing certain things. You'll try to discourage her from doing those things, and there's that friction. And it's usually with mothers who had made sufficient number of mistakes to say, listen, I made those mistakes. I don't want my daughter to do what I did. And then there is a clash, and it usually doesn't get over for a long time. So try to get unangry. Parents aren't perfect. Kids aren't perfect. There is that unconditional love you're supposed to have. And equally as important, you don't deprive your daughter of a grandparent. Children, little children, like that community of affection.
His family is big enough.
Do you know what the divorce rate is in this country?
Very high.
50%. Do you know what that percentage goes to with people who are living together without benefit of marriage, who can't make up their minds? Probably 90%. So there is a 90% chance that you and this young man will not be together in 10 years. She'll always be your mother. And after the two of you have gone your own separate ways, hopefully amicably, because there's a 90% chance that that's going to happen, maybe your daughter will see her paternal family. Maybe. Because usually when two people separate, there's usually lots of hostility. There's lack of child support, there's lack of all those other things. So usually it's not so amicable. But she'll always be your mother. So what you're saying now is very youthful. You know, he's got a big enough family. I've heard that before. You only have one mother. And she's not perfect. I guarantee you she's not perfect. But you got to get the mad off. It eats you up inside. Try at least. Anyway, pay for the pictures, $182.47. Maybe you can go out for a cup of coffee. That's it.
Parties are excused. You can step out.
She's not going to see her granddaughter, and we're not going to have a relationship anymore.
I think it turned out good. At least I got the money back for the pictures. As far as not seeing my granddaughter, I will.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bryant versus Williford. Step forward, please.
41-year-old homemaker Loretta Bryant is suing 40-year-old surgical technician Lori Williford. Loretta claims Lori's son, 17-year-old Matthew, assaulted her daughter with an ashtray.
Miss Bryant, you and the defendant at one point shared a home together.
No, ma'am. It was my daughter, Rhiannon.
Do you know anything about
I'm suing
this?
in behalf of my daughter because she's a minor child.
Okay, why don't you have a seat, please? Step up. You shared a home with the defendant.
Yes, ma'am, I did. Him and his girlfriend, Melissa.
Are you the mother, too?
I'm the mother, too.
Would you sit down? Stand up here. According to your complaint, an incident occurred where the defendant assaulted you with an object.
An ashtray.
Go ahead.
They had stayed out all night, him and his friend. Melissa was very worried. They came in. Matt proceeded to tell her that he did not love her. He did not want to be with her, and he wanted to move out. After we had spent all this money in getting a house, his friend was being very rude to me. He was calling me names, and I kicked him out of my house.
How did you do that?
I struck him in the head a few times.
With what?
And the phone. He had the phone in his hands.
So you struck his friend?
Yeah, his friend. I made him leave. I went back to my room. I heard one loud sound, and that was one ashtray hitting my door. It made a hole in my door about this big around. I opened the door, and the other ashtray hit me.
Where did the ashtray hit you?
It hit me on my arm, right here. My arm immediately swelled up. The police came. They said seek medical attention. We did not press charges because that night Matt had said he was sorry and that he was going to pay my hospital bill.
How much was your hospital bill?
It was $225.
Was that an emergency room visit?
Yes, it was not the hospital. It was a place called EmergiCare, and it's just like a little facility where you go and reach medical attention right then and there.
Okay. What other bills did you have as a result of your injured arm?
I was out of work.
For how long?
2 days.
What was your wage each day? What did you take home each day?
I would say anywhere from $32 to $36 for both days together.
For both days? Mm-hmm. Let's hear it.
All right. I left the night before because of drug use has been going on. And I come back, and it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, me and my friend Jonathan. Her and Jonathan started saying something to each other, and he said some vulgar stuff to her. And she hit him in the head with the phone. I told her to get out my face. She went in the red room, and I was very frustrated.
So she got out of your face?
Yeah, right.
As you had requested?
Yes, ma'am.
Pick it up from there.
All right. I picked up an ashtray and threw it towards the door.
What'd you do that for?
I was mad.
Okay,
And
so you hit the door.
I hit the door, and I picked up another one and threw it the same direction. The door was closed, and then she opened the door and the ashtray hit her. I freaked out because, I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. And I took off out the door because I didn't know what to do.
So then you admit that you threw an ashtray.
Yes, ma'am.
The ashtray hit her in her arm.
Yes, ma'am.
You got scared and you left.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you pay the medical bill?
I did not have that kind of money at the time.
You want to say something? Yes. Go ahead.
I talked with Miss Bryant. She called me a few weeks after this happened, and I told her, I said, I do not have that kind of money. I'll be willing to work with you, but I don't have that kind of money. And she was just very ugly, cussing me out, and I said, whatever you got to do with this, go ahead and do, because she was very vulgar to talk with.
No, ma'am, that's not how it happened. He agreed to pay her bill. 2 days later, he's like, I'm not paying it, do whatever it is you got to do. I called her on the phone, and yes, we did have some words, but she was just as heated as I was because we were both frustrated at the situation. I did not cuss her out. That's a barefaced lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why didn't you pay this bill?
I didn't feel responsible to have to pay it.
Why?
It wouldn't ever have occurred if she wouldn't have started it.
Can I see those ashtrays, please? Bird, thank you. Even though you didn't intend to hurt her, you intended to vent your frustration at the door, right?
Correct.
Which is the ashtray that hit you?
The blue one. It had charcoal on it.
Just a minute. That's a pretty heavy weapon. You know, you could kill somebody with that?
I was not thinking at the time.
Right. Well, if you're not thinking, then you're acting stupid. And if you're acting stupid and you cause injury to somebody, you have to pay for it, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say one thing to you. The person that you hit on the head with the telephone would have the same complaint about you. And the first person to use any physical force, was who?
That was me.
Right. Not smart. So the violence in that, the physical violence, was started really by your daughter. Not against him, but against somebody else. You are clearly responsible for the injury to her arm. I don't have your friend Jonathan here, who was clobbered over the head, so I don't have to deal with that. Was there any repercussion as a result of that assault?
No, ma'am.
Jonathan just took care of the bump on his head, is that right?
Jonathan had a lot of personal problems anyway.
Well, being hit on the head with a telephone didn't help. All right, the bills that I see here, are, together with the medical bill, $261. So what do you think that Matt should pay?
I think Matt should at least pay the bills. Pay what he agreed to pay.
Absolutely right. And for your day's wages. $261, judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties like case number 41 on the calendar in the matter of Poncelet Del Sol versus Howell. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Is it Ms. Del Sol?
Yes.
You were hired by the defendant, according to your complaint, to be makeup artist in a photo shoot that he was organizing on the island of Antigua?
Almost. It was a feature film, actually.
And you traveled to Antigua?
Correct.
And it is your claim that he owes you money. He says that he paid you some money, actually, but you left the project and you were a nut while you were there, and you caused him to spend thousands of dollars in downed production time and your replacement, and he has a counterclaim. How much was he supposed to pay you?
$2,000 for my services.
So far, is that correct, Mr. Howell?
Yes, it is.
And what kind of film were you making?
It's an action flick.
How much money did you have to make this film?
About 150,000 US.
Have you ever made a film before?
Yes.
How many films?
2 prior to this.
Where? In what country?
I made one in Antigua, and I made one in New York.
Was the one that you made in New York a full-length feature?
Yes, it was.
Did it sell anything?
It's in production, post-production.
Was the film that was made in Antigua completed?
It was completed.
Okay. How much were you paid by him of the $2,000 that was agreed upon?
$600.
When did you arrive?
I arrived January 16th.
When did you leave?
February 1st.
When were you supposed to leave?
February 10th.
So you didn't complete the job?
No.
Tell me why.
Because he basically sexually harassed me. The cast was sexually harassing me. They failed to provide me with food and water as agreed upon 3 times a day. Various violent things happened.
What did you eat?
I was lucky to eat 1 time a day, and usually it was a couple pieces of lettuce and an egg. Sometimes I got something called goat water, which is what they do when they take a goat and they kill it and they put it in some rainwater on the front lawn and they boil it, and it's not quite soup.
Where did it say in your contract that he was supposed to provide you with meals?
I actually never received a written contract. That was another reason why we are having this trouble. We have a verbal contract. The contract included that he would pay me for my services rendered, for my makeup kit expenses, for my lodging, food, and transportation, and he was also supposed to supply me with a cell phone, which he never did.
And in exchange for all of that, you were supposed to work from January 16th to February 10th?
Correct.
But you didn't work to February 10th?
I was unable to.
Why?
Through the circumstances that they were putting me through.
How many other people left?
I actually heard a few rumors that a few other people...
I'm not interested in rumors.
Okay.
How many people that you know that you're going to be able to name for me left the production?
I do know for a fact that the wardrobe lady left.
Did the wardrobe lady leave?
No.
Did she finish the production?
She did finish the production.
Did she leave before or after you did?
Before.
So you actually knew she left?
Right. I didn't see her.
Well, why didn't you tell me that first?
It's slipped my mind. I'm sorry.
What happened, Mr. Howell? Why did she leave?
Well, Melissa had to leave for a number of reasons. The main reason was because Melissa was incapable of doing her work. She was smoking and drinking. Her actions became so bizarre, it was hilarious at times, dangerous at times. And I had to replace her on more than one occasion with makeup artists because she just could not function.
When you say she was drinking, you mean she was intoxicated?
She was drinking and her behavior would lead me to believe she was intoxicated. But
Give me an example.
On Saturday the 24th of January, I got on set and I was like, yo, you need to go talk to Melissa. I'm like, what's going on? And they say, I don't know what's up. So I went over to her and she was like, why? Why? And
I got it. I got
yes,
it.
Your Honor. And it was behavior like that. I was like, Melissa, what's going on? And then she was like, oh, Doc. She started complaining about a lot of things that was happening. And then
what was she complaining about, Mr.
Okay, one of the things she was complaining about is that there was a person who was on the set. He wasn't part of the production team. And Melissa and him had become acquaintance. And she was stating that he was actually trying to have sex with her.
Who was this person, if he wasn't part of the production team?
What happened was we needed some guns, and he had brought, he flew in from New York to bring down some guns for us. His name was Robert.
He flew down to bring guns?
Yes.
What kind of guns?
Prop guns.
Prop guns?
Yes.
So he actually flew down at your request to add things to your production?
To the production, right.
All right, so he was there at your request, and she was complaining that he was making sexual advances towards her?
Yeah, that was a Saturday night, yes.
That was on the 24th?
24th, Saturday the 24th.
So what did you do? What did you say to her?
I told Melissa that I would address the issue after we finish the set. But let's go, let's get you calm down, and I will talk to him after I got taken care of her and her anxiety.
So what did you do?
So I told her I'm going to do 3 things to make sure that she feels more comfortable on set. Issue number 1. 1, there'll be no male around her, talking to her, unless they were sitting in her makeup chair. Because she was complaining that there were other people frequenting her set. Number 2, I told her there'll be no more smoking on set.
You mean smoking cigarettes or
smoking weed?
Smoking weed? Oh.
And Yana, if I must add, she was smoking the good weed. It was a strong Antigua weed.
And she was?
Yes.
Was smoking?
The good Antigua ganja.
She was smoking marijuana.
Marijuana.
Is that right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, sure
it's
it
a
is.
complete lie.
Just a second. He's absolutely telling me the truth.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No,
Go ahead.
he's not.
The 3rd thing was I was going to try and adjust the source of her weed.
The source?
Yes.
So you were saying that if Robert's sexually harassing you, I want you to stop smoking weed, and I'm going to get rid of your supplier.
Yes.
Sounds like an interesting production, Mr. Howell.
No, Yana, there was more than just the sexual harassment. There was a lot going on, and I was trying to address the issues. The sexual harassment was just one part of the issue.
Okay. Did you ever complain to him about sexual harassment by anybody other than Robert?
Yes, I did.
Who?
There were a few people who were grips.
And what were they doing?
They set up light stands. They handled the lighting.
No, I don't mean what were they doing as grips.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm
what were they
sorry.
doing to you?
Well, I would go by them and they would touch me and they would tell me about how later that night they would like to do various things to me.
And what'd you say to them?
I said that that was very inappropriate and I would like them to not talk to me in that way anymore.
Your Honor, that's untrue.
The only one she complained to you about was Robert?
Was Robert.
I believe him. I believe him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa Poncelet del Sol says director Dr. Noel Howell owes for her services as a makeup artist on his film. Dr. Howell is countersuing for money owed.
Now, I just want to know why you left on February 1st.
Because he no longer was giving me the means to do my job. He kept confiscating my makeup kit every night, so I wasn't able to clean and organize my brushes and my makeup kit. So I would arrive to set with dirty brushes. I finally said to him, this is unacceptable. As we've spoken about this many times, I need to be able to have my makeup kit in my possession at night so that I can organize it, clean my brushes, and arrive on set and do my job.
Was there ever a time...
Sorry?
Was there ever a time that you did not show up on the set on time, ready to proceed?
No.
Yes, Your Honor, there were times. First of all, I've never, ever touched her makeup kit. Never confiscated anything to do with her makeup kit. And why would I want a dirty makeup on my set? I would never do such a thing, Your Honor.
I don't understand why he took your makeup kit.
I frankly don't understand either. However, I do know that when I was finally returned to me, $4,000 worth of makeup was removed from it, and I'm not sure if it's because he wanted to keep it to give to his new makeup artists to use on his film.
Who bought the makeup?
That was my makeup.
You purchased the makeup, And he stole your makeup?
Yes.
Yeah, I have receipts here that I gave her my credit card over the phone. She used a credit card. She bought makeup with a credit card. Then she called me and she told me I owed her $700 something for the makeup. I went and I gave her cash. However, later I found out that that $700 include $500 something that was actually purchased on my credit card. So not only did I give her the $780 cash for everything, she also used a credit card. So she only spent maybe $200 something of her own money. So Melissa is a con artist. She's very good at this thing. And I guess from the onset, that's what she was doing.
I actually have the receipt for that $765.30, and it was actually my father's Visa card, not his.
And Your Honor, I have the receipt that she submitted to me, and this is what she gave me. This is the receipt she gave me.
Just a minute.
And on this is what she told me she spent. And if my memory serves me correctly, it said MasterCard. And she gave me this.
This receipt that you gave me is for $532.60.
Right.
What she has here is $765 purchased on the 13th of January.
Yeah, Your Honor, I have the rest of the receipt. This is what she gave me. She gave me everything here together, $776. And that's what she gave me was supposed to be, this was supposed to be cash. And that part of it was supposed to be the credit card.
Did you take back any makeup from her?
I did not.
Did you take any makeup from her kit?
I did not.
Did anybody as part of your production team?
Someone might have, but not to my knowledge. The only thing that I know, there was a bottle of blood that was left in the office that we end up using.
What I'm asking you is, did you or anyone at your direction take makeup from her kit?
No.
Okay.
I have a list of the missing makeup inventory.
Just a second. Did you see him take any makeup from your kit?
I did see him remove several items of my makeup from my hotel room when he burst in through the door and threatened to hit me in the face.
Yeah, no,
just a second. Ms. Del Sol, what items do you tell me now that you saw him take out of your makeup kit?
4 gallons of blood.
Other than that?
I didn't see it with my own eyes.
You're on a 4 gallons of blood cannot hold in the makeup kit.
Hey, just a second.
I'm sorry.
You didn't see him take anything
all I know
else?
is that when I walked off set, because I had dehydration and sunstroke, because no one would let me sit in their car at the shelter or give me any water on set.
There we go again.
Be quiet.
My makeup kit was left on set, and it was unlocked.
I have no idea who took it. Okay, let me hear you counterclaim, sir. 30 seconds or less.
Your Honor, because of her behavior, her inability to perform the job that she was expected to do, I had to bring in an assistant, I had to bring in another makeup artist. I also ended up paying a hospital bill because of her behavior. She was seen by a doctor there.
What were you seen by a doctor for?
He actually forced me to see a doctor while I was there.
Just
and it was to die. Well, at the time I had no idea. After I was seen by the doctor, I was told that I was not homicidal or suicidal, which was rather shocking.
So you went to see a doctor in Antigua?
Yes, but it wasn't that I went to go see them. We were actually shooting a scene in a clinic that day. So he escorted me into the clinic, and I thought I was going in there to set up my makeup kit. And then suddenly I was alone in a room with the doctor.
Don't go on any more photo shoots to Antigua.
I won't.
Very good. Mr. Howell, when you have a large production staff, sir, I assume you've had difficulties before, of various kinds, not necessarily with makeup artists, but with people who aren't performing their job. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
And you had to replace them?
Yes.
Have you ever sued anybody for that, sir?
Not as yet.
You will be unsuccessful if you sue them. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the courts are busy enough. You got to choose your people better. Get better recommendations. Do whatever you have to do as the CEO of this organization to make sure that you hire people who can do the job. But you don't go around suing them afterwards if your production is slowed down.
Not afterward.
Listen to me. We're too busy to clean up after CEOs who don't do their homework and hire appropriate people. And if there's something wrong with her because she has a mental disability, which I assume that you thought she had if you took her to a doctor, then you didn't do your homework carefully enough. But you don't get paid for that, sir. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Similarly, madam, you did not fulfill your contract. You went home. You have no proof that he stole your makeup. I'm not sure what happened there. You got paid a little. It wasn't a pleasant experience.
Yeah, it was the weed.
Hey, listen to me and don't interrupt me. Did I give you plenty of opportunity to talk?
Yes, Your Honor.
I assume that the plaintiff was not the only one on your set who was smoking this wonderful weed that they had in Antigua. I assume that that would be correct, sir. Look over there at his face. Is he there?
Yeah, he was there.
You get my drift?
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
Good. Me neither. But I'm sure there were people there who did. Right?
Yeah, Melissa.
Only her? You think that I believe that?
No, a few.
A few.
People, but not, and that don't have anything to do with the set.
Right, very good. Okay. Goodbye, folks. I don't think you have a case, madam. You got paid some money. I know he doesn't. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Melissa was smoking weed.
Completely false and hilarious.
And the weed is too strong for her.
That I do not smoke marijuana.
And I know that her behavior and everything is the weed.
So that's just totally false.
Let me tell y'all, don't mess with the Antigua weed. It's wicked.
Don't deal with con artists.
Don't mess with the weed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCullough versus Bongiorno, step forward, please.
Robert McCullough is suing a former bandmate of his daughter's friend, Joseph Bongiorno, for the return of his musical equipment.
Mr. McCullough, it is your claim that the defendant has a piece of music equipment that belongs to you.
Actually, two pieces, Your Honor.
An amp and something else.
And a controller for it, yes.
The defendant acknowledges that he has the equipment. He said it's his. You gave it to him.
Okay.
That's your defense, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where is it?
It is currently in my possession at my home.
How long do you know the plaintiff?
Mr. McCullough, I met back in November of 2008.
How did you meet him?
I met him through Matthew Clooney, the plaintiff's witness. I'd been in the band with him since early, probably November of 2007.
So you met him through your bandmate?
Yes.
Now, tell me the circumstances of how this perfect stranger to you, someone with whom you had no relationship with, no business dealings with, correct? Mm-hmm. Gave you what he says, valuable pieces of equipment worth in excess of $1,000.
I went to his house with Matt Clooney, and he said Matt had previously called me saying that Mr. McCullough had an amplification system for me to use, and I went to
use an amp system for you to use.
It was given to me, yes.
No, he first said he had an amp system for you to use.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the words that you just said. Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
No, of course it's right. You want me to play it back for you?
No,
what you said was, Matt called you and said that Mr. McCullough had amp equipment for you to use. Then you quickly changed the word use for you to have. But the first word you used was use, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do?
I took the equipment from Mr. McCullough.
What was the agreement? What did he say to you and what did you say to him?
Well, when it was given to me or handed over to me, there was no agreement saying that I had to return the equipment.
Tell me what he said to you.
What he said to me was, you can have this equipment and use it, tell me what you think about it, and that was what was said.
Did you use it?
Yes.
Did you tell him what you thought about it?
No, I did not.
Then you have to give it back. He gave it to you to use, and he said to you, I want you to use this and tell me what you think about it. There's your contract, if I believe you. You never told him what you thought about the equipment.
No, I did not.
You got to give it back. Now. The fact that you're angry because you're no longer in the band doesn't mean you don't return the equipment. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Within 5 days, sir, you get your equipment back.
Your Honor, just one quick thing I'd like to interject, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What would be the recourse if he, in fact, does not have the two pieces of equipment?
Do you have the two pieces of equipment?
Yes, ma'am.
He has them.
Okay.
And they're to be returned to him in good condition. Otherwise, he can bring you back here. Do you understand? You don't want to be back here because you've already embarrassed yourself. You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.